What is going on, internet and people of the world? My name is Demi Wormy, and I'm back. I'm still angry, and I'm still very, very, very angry. But I'm putting my anger into something more creative. You know, talking to you guys, even though there's practically nobody here. But still, I could talk to you guys on the internets and on the internet.coms, webs, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I can say all sorts of interesting things. And trust me, guys, I got a lot to cover. And mind you, again, I don't like talking politics all the live long day on my fucking channel. In fact, I actually abhor it to the utmost extent. But quite frankly, right now, there's not a whole lot of fun in this world. And, well, I do like talking about tards, so we got two very big ones to talk about. And hello, Chris McCab. I see you, buddy. I see Cloud. And I do see Alpha Omega. Alpha Omega was #1, by the way. And now, shockingly enough, Cloud is. So I don't know what's going on there. But okay, that's a thing. But yes, we got some stuff to talk about. Because yes, two retards are in my thumbnail right now, right next to a brilliant, strong, powerful man being Charlie Kirk. And I did title my stream, We Are Not the Same, because we are not the same as those evil, evil people over there. Look, sorry about that. But we are not the same as Hassan or Destiny. And mind you guys, right now, Hassan's scared. We'll go over it. But Hassan is scared to death right now over some of the things that have been going on since the Charlie Kirk death. And it's not because he's scared that he's going to, you know, face a similar thing, which will be just entirely atrocious. I do not wish that upon him. I wish him a long, healthy, happy life. But he's scared because it looks like people are starting to actually make movement and him might no longer have channel. Which is fine, because he broke a TOS how many fucking times? So yeah, I'm not really going to cry over that one. By the way, shout out to Cash and Static. Static, I get that you're hungry, but you know what? I'll let you eat after a little while. Okay? When I'm ready to let you out of the basement, you can finally eat. Okay? I like... We all know that Static actually streams out of my basement, okay? Well, actually, my cellar. I don't really have a basement. I live in rural Kansas, but Static lives in my cellar. It's kind of shitty down there, but that's where he lives. We make it look nice and stuff for the streams, obviously, but that's really where he lives, in my cellar. He's my H1B employee. I feed him moldy bread. That's about as best as I got right there. But anyways, before we go too far, which quick hit do we want to do first? I'm going to save this one for a little later. I'm going to save that one for a little later. Because, yes, I got a lot of politics. And mind you guys, the politics I usually like to discuss and talk about and engage with are politics like this, okay? This is what I usually like to talk about. You know, the Dragon Ball and all this stuff that's going on over in Texas, the censorship bill, which is extremely unconstitutional, will be extremely easy to actually take down if ever actually challenged. But you have a bunch of people trying to virtue signal over it and say that they're being forced to pull down Dragon Ball fucking comics manga, when nobody ever forced them to do that. Nobody ever said that they had to do that, and they chose to do it themselves. So they want to virtue signal over it, and that really pisses me the fuck off. But I would prefer to talk about stuff like this. I would prefer to talk about garbage like that. Well, not garbage, but you get my drift right there. Instead, we're going to be talking about an actual fascist, an actual monster of a human being. We are going to be talking about this. Now, a lot of people saw this going around today. Now, this was the second thing that was going around today, and I'm making this very clear that this was the second thing, and we will see the first thing, but this was Destiny on Piers Morgan today. Now, on Piers Morgan, they were discussing the Charlie Kirk incident, the assassination. I can't really say incident. I'm trying to be more TOS friendly right now, but let's not mince words here, dumb me. Okay, it was an assassination. It was a political assassination. Okay? And Destiny had this to say about some of his things that he's been saying online, because mind you guys, what Destiny has been saying online has been atrocious. It's been some of the most deranged stuff ever, but it's not really out of ordinary for Destiny to be saying stuff like this, or even out of pocket. Destiny's just schizo on a nightmarish level, and well, he had this to say.
You've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every Conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro. That's not what Charlie would have wanted."
Mind you, this seems mild. This is normal nowadays for Destiny, and that's not me defending him. This is what Destiny has been doing for a long time now, and I got some evidence to pull it up just to show you guys how deranged he has been, how nightmarish Destiny has been for a long time, and nothing that we're about to see is new for Destiny.
I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side.
Mind you, that makes no logical sense, because every single conservative commentator, myself included, even though I don't consider myself a conservative frickin' commentator, has always said we don't want violence. We've never wanted violence. Nobody wants frickin' violence outside of you nutcases. But hey, here we are.
We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their
always saying it. They never want violence. They've never wanted violence. They always say we don't want violence. Violence doesn't help anything. But hey, you're a nutcase who always says, well, those aren't the right ones, even though all the correct ones will always say this. All the big ones, all the mainstream ones, all the ones that you want to say don't do this, they always do this. I've heard Benny Johnson. Well, yeah, Benny Johnson say it. I've heard Ben Shapiro say it. I've heard Matt Walsh say it. I've heard Michael Knowles say it. I've heard Stephen Crowder say it. I've heard Tim Pool say it, even though he's a a liberal individual. He said it. I've heard every single mainstream conservative say we don't want violence. Jack Posobiec has said he doesn't want violence. Everybody has said they don't want violence, but oh my God, those aren't the right people that say they don't want violence. Destiny wants fucking Trump to constantly come out here and say, we want to turn down the rhetoric, even though he does, and nothing ever changes.
Side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
Let that sink in, what he just said there. Let that make sense with what he just said there. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to still be alive, you shouldn't have voted in Donald Trump. If you want Charlie Kirk to have still been alive, you should have voted the way we told you to. Ignore whatever reasons you had for voting for Trump. Ignore whatever consequences there would have been if you voted Kamala. If you wanted to listen, if you wanted Charlie to be alive, you'd listen to us and do what your betters fucking told you. That's what he's saying right there. Mind you, that's what he's outright saying. That's called terrorism, Destiny. That's called being a fascist, Destiny. And hey, he got worse, because I'm not going to finish this 4-minute clip, because my God, guys, if you want to see just how vile of an individual Destiny can be, go watch the Piers Morgan episode today. It was deranged. But mind you, this was the one that everybody's been reacting to. This is the really vile one today, where he openly says, calls for conservatives to be offed more often so they will be afraid to attend events or speak out.
Out the crime statistics?
Not exactly like.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games, okay?
every conservative commentator that you can even name has armed security. A lot of the biggest ones you can name has armed security 24/7. Of course they are scared of this. Conservatives are always terrified of going out because you can look at every single conservative event going on. There's always counter protests. There's always people wanting to rile shit up. There's always people that want to actually cause harm. It has been countless times. We could talk about, I think it was Aaron Danielson, the conservative walking around Portland, Illinois during the second Trump election that was going on back in 2020, that was gunned down by Antifa and BLM, man. You can look at so many evidence and so much time that we are terrified of doing this, but you want us to live in fear. Again, that's called terrorism. That's called being a fascist right there, Destiny. And you're calling for more fascistic, terroristic ideas to be spread and propagated right now because your person didn't win the election. You want us to live in fear of you, and I reject that notion outright. Mind you, I want this man to be investigated right now. I am full-fledged calling for him to be investigated right now. Hardcore, because he's calling for more. He wants more political violence. He wants more escalation in all of this because he's a nutcase. He is a vile, evil little man, and I don't even understand why he even has a platform in the first place, but he is a full-fledged fascistic terrorist at this point in time. And I can also pull up this dude who, you know, definitely wants to try to play semantic games and act like he didn't say what he said because, well, I need a sweep for him. Hi, Dev. How are you doing? Again, you should have taken Pippa's advice in the first fucking place, but okay, you're still here. What he actually said was conservatives need to be afraid to go to events, so they will look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. That is not what he said. If we just played what he said that he wants us scared of being harmed, and I'm not going to repeat it fully because, mind you, I still like my channel, but let's think this through real quick. Who's going to be doing the fear-mongering right there? Who's going to be doing what's actually scaring us right there? Who's going to be the people causing this? Oh, yeah! It's leftards! It's people that they agree with. They want us terrified right now. Don't give it to them. Don't do anything stupid and idiotic. Don't bend to their terrorism. Because, mind you, this is one of the reasons I do love free speech, is because they'll openly tell you just how vile of individuals they are. Mind you, I do have to point out that this isn't the first time. Here's a 20-minute clip of Destiny endorsing political violence. And no, I'm not going to play the entire thing. We're just going to get a little bit of this, mind you. And this is from Phil Labonte. But there's 20 minutes of him going off on this. And by the way, I don't like Wick TV, but at least he's here reacting to this.
Oh, my shit's working. What's up?
Yeah. So you made a tweet, and I'm feeling certain kind of way about it. Okay. I don't. Yeah, you can call me soy all you like, right? But just because the other side, like Trump, jokes about Pelosi's husband getting hammered by a guy with a hammer and things, just because that side engages in that kind of behavior and that kind of rhetoric and that kind of we can joke about the bad things that happen to them, I don't think that makes it okay for us to turn around and do the same. And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons we are at this point that we are in this country.
No, I reject that. No, we need to, that needs to stop. The whole idea that, like, well, the reason why we're here is because liberals and the left just haven't cucked out enough. The reason why we're here, the reason why we don't have our Supreme Court justice, the reason why Trump has to get criminal immunity to survive his court case is because the left just isn't kind enough. Nah, I'm over it. I'm super over it. My only regret is
he's never been more over it than before. And again, this is a 20-minute video of him doing it. I have others. Well, we'll come back to this, but I have others. Here's Destiny. Here's a 29-second video. Here's Destiny. Hassan Piker. Not Hassan Piker, but this is Destiny. Fight a lot. But there's one thing they definitely agree on: supporting violence against their political opponents. Destiny said he'd support Brianna Thompson harming if Brian, it's Brian, I'm stupid, had been a Trump supporter. YouTube allows this, mind you, not just YouTube, Kick as well.
This is another reason why I hate conservatives, and I hate you partially, okay, for supporting Trump, okay? Don't ever forget that, all right?
I feel like I'm half joking. No, I'm not. Never mind. Okay. I feel like
we're here. We're discussing. I'm acknowledging to you all their problems. I could say I hate leftists because I could point to some Luigi Mangione and say, and this is sort of why I hate you too, Steve.
Listen, if you would have just got him at the Trump rally, I would have been okay with it. All right. If Brian Thompson would have been one of those. Okay. Listen, if
Oh, it just happened at the Trump rally, he'd be okay with it. There's other clips of Destiny saying, hey, you know what the worst thing about what happened at that particular Trump rally in which the grace of God bestowed upon Trump and he turned his head just at the right moment? Destiny didn't just laugh at what happened to, I cannot remember that man's name, and it was just on the tip of my tongue, the dad that lost his life trying to protect his daughter. He didn't just laugh at that. He said the worst part is that bullet didn't hit Trump. That is an actual quote. I wish I had that clip right now, but that's an actual quote. But we also have this. This is just from a month ago, mind you, on CNN. A month ago.
I hate Charlie Kirk. I think he's actually a Satan spawn, but he's very, very strategically minded.
That's just a month ago. Hey, I wonder why he won't condemn what happened. I wonder why he won't do any of that, but that's just a month ago. That's just a month ago. Oh, we have this. We have this. Destiny calls for Trump supporters to be and says that anyone who disagrees with his politics can and should be censored. 23 seconds.
Disgusting for years, which is why I don't give a fuck about anybody that winds up at any of these rallies and gets shot or whatever the fuck, okay? Because they had no problem making fun of Paul Pelosi. The entire world would be better off if these people were permanently removed from these platforms. Like, there is no downside and only upside to see people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Tim Pool never be allowed to publicly broadcast their opinions ever again. It's exclusively bad stuff that happens.
Are you seeing the thing right now? Are we seeing what constantly happens? Are we seeing just how deranged Destiny truly is and how vile this man truly is? He is a fascist. He is an authoritarian nutcase. He is fine with everybody else he politically disagrees with getting gunned down. He's fine with all of that. And he wants you removed permanently. He doesn't want you. He doesn't want anything to do with you. So when we call him out all the time, I don't know what else to do. But all the signs have been there that he is going to be calling for more. He is going to keep escalating. He's going to keep pushing further. And mind you, just how deranged this man is. And I know this comes from Ethan Ralph, and I know the last thing came from Ian Miles Chungus right there. This is a real quote from Destiny. Destiny says he wouldn't lose any sleep if his parents got gunned down at a Trump rally.
How about your parents? If they get their brains blown out at a rally, would you have the same attitude? They are democracy-hating insurrectionists after all. One, you're permaban for asking a stupid question, because the obvious answer two is, listen, they're adults. They make their own fucking decisions. If you want to support an insurrectionist president, then whatever comes of that is that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke. My mom is an immigrant to the United States of America. She was 5 years old. Her parents worked really hard to get her here. She served for 20 years in the Air Force, along with my dad. They know exactly what they're doing. They should know exactly what they're supporting. It was my mom that, ranted at me for over a decade about how evil the USSR and Putin and all the Chi-Coms and all that shit. So whatever, if they go to a rally and they whatever the fuck, it's less end of life cost for me to deal with. It's on them. That's their decision. You think I'm gonna fucking lose sleep over that? No. We all have our.
This man doesn't even care if his own parents get gunned down at a rally. This man doesn't even care. And I do have to point this out. Like, why does he still get brought up on any sort of political stream? Why does he still get any sort of actual, legitimacy? I'm not trying to be a dick here to Piers Morgan, but the fact that we keep bringing him up on platforms like this, the fact that CNN did a goddamn interview with him over a month ago when he's going through serious other shit right now. We've talked about it before. We've talked about it on multiple occasions. We've talked about the things going on with Pixie. We've talked about the recent stuff with Rose. We've talked about all sorts of scandals with Destiny, and it always gets worse. It always gets more deranged. At some point in time, somebody seriously needs to just admit and say it. Bro, we need to investigate you. Bro, you've broken up plenty of TOS, calling for actual violence, trying to get it to escalate further and further. And when people call him out, all he does is JK, LOL, oh, conservatives, Trump. This is what we call a TDS-riddled brain rot. This man has just has to constantly keep popping a bunch of those freaking pills all day and night. I don't know if it's Xanax or what, because he can't do anything. He's destroying his own life, and he's destroying lefties in general, mind you. The best gift to Conservative Party, truly, the best gift to Republicans in general is Destiny and Hassan, because we could just show you guys what the fuck your top two fucking creators say over and over again. We could just play it on repeat and go like, this is what they think. Come to our side, because we're over here doing, hey, you know what? We want to pray for the death of Charlie Kirk. We are sorry. We're not hoping for it, but we are doing vigils. We are mourning. We are crying about it. We are praying to God. We are going to church. We are doing a bunch of stuff, and we aren't burning down fucking cities and calling for heinous actions to befall their people. You don't see it. We aren't the same as these nightmarish people. And when they do get called out, this happens. Destiny offers response after Hutch called out his viral clip about conservatives needing to be scared. Not scared outright. But we have it right here. In what universe is the MAGA movement ever in a million years going to their leadership and asking them to turn the temperature down after a conservative is murdered? Not just that, but after you guys say to ramp up the rhetoric, ramp it up constantly, make it worse, make them scared. This is his response. If they can never go to their leadership and ask them for peace, what chance do we have of doing it? This argument is self-defeating. Your argument's self-defeating because you require somebody else to do something for you to even think about saying, hey, like mourning the death, like this is wrong, this is bad. No, your whole argument is we need Trump to come out here and make a statement before I ever do anything. That is a TDS riddled brain. You are in a fucking cult. You accuse everybody else on the right to have to sit there and suckle the dick of Donald Trump for some weird reason. We only ever do what Trump tells us to do. You're actually doing it. You're actually the person who goes out there and pushes this stuff. You're actually doing what it is that you accuse everybody else of doing. This is a evil, 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 evil man right here. This is a vile man who has broken every TOS on the books. And when it came to his Twitch banning, I was on his side. I thought his Twitch banning was nightmarish. But if this is how bad it's going to get right now, bros, he needs to be FBI'd, okay? And that's not saying something bad, but that means he needs to be investigated hardcore right now because he's pushing insane, deranged thoughts and conspiracies and saying, actually advocating for more. Simultaneously, he does need to be removed from Kick. I'm not playing these games anymore with these people. I'm not playing these games anymore with any of these individuals. He needs to be removed from Kick because he's obviously breaking TOS. He's obviously calling for more harm and harassment to be done. And he doesn't care. He likes it. He revels in it. And he'll blame everybody else for his bad action except himself because he is a narcissistic, vile, evil man. For fuck's sakes. You're never going to get anything done. And I know I'm giving him advice right here. And I don't even like the nutcase, but goddamn, guess what? Pixie's watching all this shit. Rose is watching all this shit, and they're taking it directly to their legal cases. They're going to be taking this all the way to the court, and I don't really think you should be playing this game right now. The fact that Destiny has any sort of prominence in our political system is nightmarish to me in the grand scheme of things. And I did see what Static said earlier. Sorry, I was recording that, and I tried to do, like, when I do my rants and my monologues and all that stuff, I see you guys. Don't worry. I am seeing you guys in the chat right now. When I'm doing those whole things, I try not to engage as much when I'm doing the rants and shit like that. But that's just for posterity for the videos. But I did see, why does Poso always look like a puppy that just got his ass beat? Reminder, guys. Reminder to all of you. Jack Posobiec was really good friends with Charlie Kirk. Arguably best friends with Charlie Kirk. He was on the stream listening to some of the most deranged shit coming from Destiny. Some nightmare fuel level shit coming from Destiny. He was dealing with this the whole time on this entire, not stream, but this broadcast. Having to listen to Destiny spew this shit. I think he gets to look like a sad little puppy right now. Am I high? No. I've only had one in maybe a quarter beer. Remember when remember when our side sided with him when he got kicked from Twitch by Kefos? Shouldn't have done that. You know what? Yeah, I agree. Guess what? There's a lot of things that you look back and you go like, you know what? Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you straight in your goddamn asshole. Granted, you'd love that. Granted, you've been around with fucking Nick Fuentes so much that you probably know the exact shape and feel of his cock in your back of your throat. Probably snowballed with Fuentes, but I do suggest people watch this Pierce Morgan episode. There's one criticism, okay, because I don't talk about this a lot. I do really, really, really enjoy Andrew Wilson here. I think Andrew Wilson is a great debater. By the way, shout out Jason Fox. I see you, bro. I think Andrew Wilson is a great debater. He is a conservative debater, and he does use some tactics I do disagree with in the grand scheme of things. One of those tactics is particularly some debate bro tactics that I do sometimes find very actually most of the time I find very unsettling and not actually succeeding. And he did fuck up. I will say this, he fucked up on this one. The way he was going after Anna Kasparian, he went a little too aggressive. He shouldn't have been going that aggressive against Anna Kasparian. But there's a lot of times where Andrew Wilson is very smart, articulate, able to actually go through his ideas in a very profound and unique way, and I do shout him out. He got a guy to actually run away from the Pierce Morgan episode. That's how cool it was. Jeremy's Biden supporting doppelganger. We're the same. No, we're fucking not. We are not the same. I've said it. I've kind of lost this whole idea of, hey, we could just have platforms and we can talk and all that stuff. I've lost that. I'm a changed man, but granted, I will not be calling for deplatforming unless I could see you violently and profusely breaking TOS on an extreme degree, and also if you commit crimes like, well, Destiny is doing right now, calling for more. Admitting to being an actual fascist. Like, think this through. You can have Hutch, Not So Erudite, Dan, and all those people try to separate themselves as much as possible from Destiny. They grew because of Destiny. They're always intertwined with Destiny. I'm never going to forget that. When it comes to Turkey Tom, you're always going to be a part of Destiny. Nicholas Diorio, you're always a part of Destiny. Same with Chud. You might have been excommunicated or walked away in some regards here or there. You're always a part. They helped you grow. Destiny helped you grow. In fact, a lot of you guys still talk about Destiny on the regular. You don't want him in your chats, but he's always going to be a part of you guys. And when you should have called out Destiny a long time ago, you didn't because, well, they're just jokes. We're not going to freak out over this. We're going to talk about everything else but Destiny. We're going to suck the dick of Destiny because that's what Turkey Tom did on multiple occasions. I'm not saying that he actually did it. You can go over to his freaking channel and see many of videos talking about how great Destiny is and how perfect Destiny is. Hassan, Destiny, ContraPoints, Vosh, Tom, they all need to be deplatformed. So I always get ContraPoints and counterpoints. Like, there's so many different points out there that sound the same that I can never remember who's who. For Vosh, I'll say it. I think Vosh as well. For violating TOS, mind you. For calling for more radical shit. I think they do. Tom, depends on which Tom you're talking about, because like Turkey Tom hasn't violated TOS. I won't call for him. Contra, well, yeah, I know. Okay, if it's Contra, because I know there's two of these fucking people, okay, and it's always hard to remember which one's which because there's ContraPoints and then counterpoints. ContraPoints is obviously what Alpha Omega said. The tranny, and then CounterPoints, and I want to say it's CounterPoints because they so similar names. CounterPoints is a Destiny simp. a right-leaning centrist Destiny simp. But when it comes to like Tom, if you're talking about Turkey Tom hasn't violated TOS, but he sucks the dick of Destiny hardcore. And he didn't separate himself from Destiny until the Pixie stuff started. Would not shock me if Destiny and Tom have done something behind the scenes. And mind you, when Kino Casino says Turkey Tom was basically groomed by Destiny, that's not a joke. Agreed at Dermy Wormy? Yeah. I will not, like, when it comes for me saying you should be deplatformed, one, it needs to be you violated TOS, actually violated TOS. And I'm not talking about like the, oh, well, you said a naughty no-no word. I mean full-fledged violating TOS on like calling for violence or things of that nature. Like some of the things that we can all agree, hey, you violated TOS on an extreme degree. Yeah, you're gone. I'm sorry. Doxing, things of that nature, you know? That I think counts as, hey, you lose the platform. You violated the rules in the extreme degree. When it comes, but simultaneously, the other thing that has to be in tandem here is also the criminal charges. You know, having the FBI called on you, not by me, of course, but having the FBI see this, investigate you, and potential charges coming to you. That's how I lead to the whole deplatforming. When it comes to Destiny, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And with the next guy we'll be bringing up, who's also in the thumbnail, not Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk is... He was the best of us. He was the best of us. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to be the next Charlie Kirk. I'm more akin to Steven Crowder, which we got some Crowder shit to go over as well. But he knew about the CP pics and didn't report Destiny to the police. He needs to go. So I will say this, Alpha Omega. Say this about Tom. He knew about the Pixie shit. A lot of them knew about the Pixie shit. Mind you, a lot of the people that want to come out here and talk all the time about how, oh, well, people knew about V Shoujo, they should have talked. There's a lot of fucking people that knew about the Pixie shit and never said a goddamn thing. There's a lot. And the only reason people found out about the Pixie shit is because some people nutted the fuck up and said, no, we need to talk about this. That's a fact, but Tom was one of the people that didn't know about that knew about the Pixie shit. Now, did he know about the CP? Don't know, but he knew about the Pixie shit. Oreo knew about the Pixie shit. Chud knew about the Pixie shit. And Chud kind of fucked up when he was talking about the Pixie shit and mentioned something he shouldn't have mentioned, but they all knew about the Pixie shit and they covered it up. And their argument was, well, Pixie didn't want us to talk about it. You guys talk about drama and news all the time, and you didn't talk about this at all? You ignored it because, well, Pixie doesn't want us to talk about it. Nah, that's fucked. When it comes to Rose, I don't know who all knew about Rose. I will say that much. When it comes to Rose, because there might be some individuals, but I will also say this, there's some signs that some people did know. I don't know who knew about Rose, and I don't know who didn't know about Rose. So I'm going to be, on the Rose thing, I'm being a little bit more careful, but the Pixie shit, you all knew. You all fucking knew. I ain't playing these goddamn games with these freaks anymore. You knew. You knew. And Destiny is fucktarded, by the way. He's super fucktarded. And again, I'll say this. I would much rather be talking about shit like this. Okay? The Texas censorship bill, which again is unconstitutional, is an easy layup for anybody to take to a judge, have it go through the entire system and send straight up to the Supreme Court to get overturned. It's an easy layup. The Supreme Court is very strong on the First Amendment. Downright always protecting the First Amendment, because that's what Supreme Court Justice, the Chief Justice, what's his name? Fuck, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name right now. I always want to say Kavanaugh, but I know it's not Kavanaugh. I can't think of what the Chief Justice is, but his whole thing is he wants to protect the First Amendment downright to the T. This is a layup for him. He would take this up and go like, yeah, nah, it's against the First Amendment all day and night. And the bill is so overbroad, it doesn't It tackles way too much, and I get what the bill was meant to do. It was to help protect high school kids that have no images being made of them via AI. I get that. The bill's way too broad, and it is impacting things, but bro, you need to fucking take it to the legal system. Quit virtue signaling about this. Actually tackle it. Before we get into our next subject of conversation, let's do this, because this was making the rounds not too long ago. Actually, shortly before I started going live. And when I'm talking about like the reason people need to be deplatformed, breaking the law, violating TOS to the extreme degree. This isn't again like saying naughty no words. I mean like violating TOS 100,000 times. Things of that nature, like really egregious shit. That's what I call for. When it comes to some of the things that are being said about Charlie Kirk right now, I am fine with those people losing their jobs because that's called accountability. That's a part of consequences. That is a part of things going awry. And you guys played this game for so long. Yeah, it ain't right. But here's Pam Bondi. I don't like Pam Bondi. There was a point in time when I was very pro Pam Bondi. I thought she was doing good, and I'll be one of the people that says it because I don't talk about it a lot because I don't like talking about politics. I was not a fan of what was started to go down with the Epstein shit, and she is one of the key people that fucked up the Epstein shit, but this is her. There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. What?
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society.
I'll keep this playing. No. Like, if I'm gonna come out here and be as generous as I fucking can with this twat, I'll say what she's talking about are the people glorifying his death and doing insane shit like that. I could say that's hateful. I could say that's monstrous. I can say that's evil. That's not criminal behavior. That's why social pressure is important. That's why we need social standards. That's why every society needs some form of social pressures and social abilities to punish people for doing bad things, like praising the death of an individual. The reason why I'm singling out Destiny for breaking the law is because he's calling for more violent actions to take place. That is against the law. And he's doing it to terrorize people and be a fascist for not having people vote the way he wants you to vote. I can think what he's saying is nightmarish, but I'm actually kind of happy that he says it because then I can point to him and go like, he's a fascist, he's a terrorist, he's a monster. Punish him for advocating for more violence, not for saying, well, Charlie Kirk was satanic and evil. No.
You see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people, so we show them that some action is better than no action.
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across.
No. Go after the individuals breaking the law. Go after the individuals rejoicing, like advocating for more, who are breaking the law. That is not free speech at that point in time. That is breaking the law, and that is advocating for more violence to occur. Go after those people. When it comes to the people rejoicing over his death or clapping or cheering, guess what? Society takes over at that point in time. Social pressures take over at that point in time. People don't frequent those bars or whatever they are. People don't use their form of business. People get fired from those businesses. That's what happens in that situation. Do not arrest people for gleefully cheering over Charlie Kirk's death. If you're gonna go after Destiny, which again, I hope you do it because he's advocating for more violence, not because he said Charlie Kirk's the bad person. No. No. You insane freak. God damn it. Every day I'm reminded, Matt Gaetz, god damn it. You know what? I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off again. I'm pissed off even more because you know who we could have had as our Attorney General? Matt Gaetz. We could have had Matt Gaetz as our Attorney General, but he had to take the high road and go like, no, I'm gonna step down and it's gonna be Pam Bondi. And I get it. Matt Gaetz was a hard sell. He was a hard guy to get, and Pam Bondi's lesser than Matt Gaetz. We could have had Matt fucking Gaetz. She's a fucking retard. God damn it. We could have had Matt Gaetz. We could have fought hard for Matt fucking Gaetz. Can we get rid of Pam and bring in Matt? Please? Please? God damn it. Mind you, I saw a report, and I don't know how valid this report was. But apparently Pam Bondi, well, Kash Patel's in a shit situation right now between Pam and Trump. And it's because Pam doesn't like how Kash Patel's been doing shit. And I'm just over here like, you're worse. Like, when it came to the shooter, the biggest criticism I have about, you know, Kash is the 2 tweets he made. We got the guy. No, we got a suspect. We got a potential suspect. That's about it. Like, that's my biggest problem there. I think Kat, and like some of the things that he said about Epstein and then some of the follow-ups, like, hey, you kind of fucked that up. But like that, outside of that, that's my biggest criticism of Kash. In fact, when it came to the assassination, I think he actually did, outside of that tweet, a stand-up job and a good job. I've seen a lot of people try to fucking rag on Kash Patel for how he handled the investigation. I'm over here like, no, he did the right thing. Oh, well, it was his dad that had to bring him in. We didn't know where the guy was. We didn't know who he was. We showed you all the evidence we had, and then we went to the public, which is a correct move. Guess what? He did everything right. And by the way, a lot of the FBI agents said that they didn't want him to go to the public. Think about that. We only got him because we went to the public. And they asked for help. Think about where we would be if he didn't do it. I don't take a lot of people seriously anymore. Like, Pam Bondi's a fucking twat. She's a retard. She's an idiot. God damn, why do we even have these people to begin with? Motherfucker. Oh, I do want to do this. Because... let's do this and then we'll get into the second like, video subject that I'm putting out tomorrow. Because, well, actually, I have, like, another video. I have 3 video subjects I want to put out for tomorrow. Fuck. I have so much, bros. I have so much. This is my only criticism of what's been going on right now. Okay, this is my only criticism about everything that's been happening right now. There's so fucking much of it, bro. There's so fucking much. Where is my... Oh, don't tell me I deleted my history. No. Let's do this one right. Because we all saw where a lot of this was going when this particular video was making the rounds the other day. Now, I cannot play this video for you guys. I can't because, one, I love my channel. I love my ability to stream. I love my ability to make money making videos and everything. But we saw this video, and I know this is the quarter pounder right now showing this off, but we saw a whole lot of people taking this video and spreading it around the other day. We saw how bad this was, and this is about Hassan. I already did my rant and rage about how vile of an individual Destiny is, but now we got Hassan. Because again, Hassan's a nightmarish individual, and for a long time, Hassan has skirted both the laws and TOS over on Twitch, and it looks like those times are starting to come to an end. And I have some evidence that Hassan is terrified of those times, because one of the individuals that was gladly and gleefully interacting with this content was Elon Musk. Elon Musk was going all over the place, reacting constantly the things that Hassan was tweeting out, has said previously, and has gone on and done, and he even started paging Jeff Bezos. Now, Elon Musk is a billionaire individual. He started going all over the place. You don't think Elon Musk has some sort of connections and ability to ring up Jeff Bezos whenever the fuck he wants? Mind you, again, Jeff Bezos runs Amazon. Amazon owns Twitch. How do you think this all is going to play out? But I bring this up because Hassan started tweeting. Oh, yes, Hassan started tweeting. You're such a weirdo, man. The asymmetry of accessible violence also exists in speech. Interesting that a direct call to action to violate, take care of, pro-Palestinian protesters exercises their 1A by a senator is not seen as violent, as opposed to a meme schematic in the quotes as a response. Mind you, when it came to this particular weapon of question, this was the weapon that was used against Shinzo Abe over in Japan when he had his life so unceremoniously taken. And we can even talk about like the asymmetry of acceptable violence and all that in speech and stuff like this. I can't play you this video. I can't play you this video because of just how vile of a things that were being said by Hassan. And people want to come out here and say, oh, well, he was taken out of context. He was taken out of context. He was taken out of context. Now, we're not playing those games anymore, bros. We're not playing those games. You don't get to talk like this on the internet. You don't get to say shit like this on the internet. And mind you, you want to know how we can tell just how scared Hassan's getting? We got this. Here's more from Hassan. The richest dude on the planet spends most of his time on his social media website fomenting white supremacist hatred, trying to spark race riots, while highlighting out-of-context clips and compilations to imply a leftist Twitch streamer should be deplatformed or worse, so dumb. I haven't seen him try to imply so worse, but you always want to try to do that entire nightmarish thing. But no, think about this. Talking about how you're deplatformed when you're still on Twitter. You're on his social media website. You're still there. Think about that for a second. Trying to get you deplatformed. You're still here on Twitter. Still engaging on Twitter, bro. Still interacting on Twitter. But to make it worse, we got this. Okay, we got this. Hassan calls Elon Musk a slop tuber. Slop tuber now. Why is he a slop tuber, bros? Because he's engaging with the content you have put out over the years.
Why hasn't he banned you on Twitter then? I don't even want to test that because he's so petty he would.
Mind you what he just said there. If he's trying to deplatform you, why hasn't he banned you on Twitter yet? You don't even want to test it because he's so petty he would. He could have done it anytime right now. But he's taking note of your actual statements and what you're doing, but you're scared of him. You're scared of what's going on right now.
You know what I mean? He is so petty he would do that, and I still use Twitter as a primary mode of communication, so I don't want him to get any ideas. But yeah, it's the same principle behind like he's like a slop tuber. Okay? He's like a fucking slop tuber. On the one hand, what do slop tubers do? Well, they'll be like, Hassan is a terrorist. On the other hand, they'll be like, he has a nice car and he's a socialist. It's like
you can be both. Like, they're not mutually exclusive. You can be a terrorist and a fake socialist at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive, you dumb. But you're freaking out over Elon Musk taking note of what it is that you've said over the years.
Like, these two things don't make sense. Like, am I a terrorist or am I like a fake socialist?
They could both be true.
And also, are you a real socialist? Do you see what I mean? Like, these guys love being like, this is a dangerous radical who must be deplatformed off of Twitch, but he's also literally, he's
what?
He's fine to be on the platform, but
nope, ain't nobody ever said that you're fine to be on the platform. In fact, again, I can't play you this video. I cannot play this video for you. The things that get said in this video will destroy my channel. But it's okay for Hassan to say it. Mind you, Hassan will be like, I've been banned more times than anybody on your day off. Interesting how your banning is always on the day that you're going to be off, and it's only for like 24 hours, and then you come back stronger than ever and utilize the ban as like promotion for your own channel and say like you're being persecuted and anything like this. You violate the TOS more than anybody else ever. I'm on Twitch right now, not just YouTube bros. I'm on Twitch right now. I can't play this video. I'll get yeeted. My little channel will get yeeted for playing this video. Make that make sense. But Hassan can do it perfectly fine. And then he tries to say, well, they say I'm a terrorist and a fake socialist. Those things, I can't be both. Yes, you can. Easily can. And easily, you have justified yourself to be deplatformed because of the violent rhetoric that you have said that is not protected under the First Amendment. In fact, it is very much frowned upon and is 100% calls to violence and action, which are against the First Amendment. Those are criminal. Simultaneously, you have broken TOS so many times, I can't even count on two hands the amount of times you have done it. And the biggest punishments you've ever received is a slap on the wrist, banning for 24 hours on the days you take off. And now that Elon Musk is getting involved, Elon Musk, started adding individuals, started adding certain people, started adding certain individuals over here. Okay? Because Elon Musk started getting involved and started adding Jeff Bezos, you're scared. And you're scared so much so, and I have this here, when we come back over here to what was being said, one of the big things that you're trying to go is this person is anti-Semitic. This person here is anti-Semitic. Elon's interacted with the anti-Semitic account. Probably shouldn't be trying to play the anti-Semitic card right now, bro. Probably shouldn't, but furthermore, I have this from Legal Mindset. And again, Legal Mindset has a good fast facts on this video. Go check it out. I just wanted to play this clip. Legal Mindset thinks there's a good chance Elon Musk already has had a phone call with phone calls about Hassan. If you don't think Elon Musk has had a phone call about Hassan, you're deranged. But let's see what LM had to say.
What's up here, Jeff Bezos? So Elon Musk saw this and he watched it and he tagged Bezos. And he didn't just tag Bezos. People were making calls, right? Because these guys, they're all these rich people, the ultra wealthy, they are like 1 degree of separation. They've met each other. They probably have each other's numbers. This was just to show he publicly called out Bezos. I bet there was some sort of phone call here too, right? So now you've got Bezos in this. And Bezos, look, we can say what you want to say about Bezos, right?
And I'm not a fan of Bezos, and I very much dislike Bezos, not for the reasons Hassan dislikes Bezos, but loves his platform so much. I have very different reasons for disliking Bezos.
Say whatever you want to say about Bezos. But Bezos does like money, right? And Bezos wants his share, the company where most of his wealth is invested, to do well. He has his personal future. Even though he's been selling off stock, he's still the largest shareholder. He has the majority of his wealth still in those shares. He is not going to nuke his own value, right, for this. Yes, he did. He's no longer, so Bezos is no longer the CEO. He's the executive chair and largest shareholder. So he has a financial interest.
He has a major financial interest in this actually going down. And again, you think Elon Musk didn't bring him up? You think Elon Musk didn't go like, hey, Bezos, I see you have this deranged terrorist supporting nutcase on your platform. Maybe we should be discussing probably taking that down after, Charlie Kirk. Maybe we should start thinking this through a little bit more because there's a lot of money tied up in a lot of this. You don't think that's going on? Hassan wouldn't be reacting the way he is right now, trying to call Elon Musk a slop tuber, if it wasn't for the fact that he's scared. Hassan's scared. You can do the whole meme, the meme from Starship Troopers where what's his name puts his hand on the brain bug and goes like, it's scared. That's what's going on right now with Hassan. He's freaking out and terrified about this. He's scared over the thought that Elon Musk got involved, and Elon Musk has a much, much bigger reach and microphone than anything Hassan has. anything Hassan has. Elon Musk is tapped in a whole lot more and has a whole lot more power than you do. You don't think maybe, just a thought right here. You don't think maybe Elon Musk is talking to Jeff Bezos and going like, hey, let me buy Twitch off you. Let me buy Twitch from your company. You don't think that might be going on? And here's the thing when it comes to Hassan. I like to cover VTubers. There's a large amount, I would say probably the majority of VTubers utilize Twitch as their main platform. The reason I want to get rid of Hassan from Twitch is because they hurt him. He existing on Twitch, he existing on the platform is a danger to VTubers. There are content creators on Twitch that are perfectly fine. Normal individuals that just want to play video games, that just want to hang out, chill out. Hassan is a detriment to them. And if you don't take care of what the actual cancer is on your platform, Hassan will take down VTubers. He will take down normal everyday gamers. He'll take down normal everyday streamers that don't talk politics, don't talk any culture war stuff, don't talk any of this stuff, because he's a detriment to your overall platform. He doesn't make your platform better. He hurts it in the grand scheme of things. And right now, with some of the things that are going on, I would be dead set on getting him the F off your platform. There are people that I really do enjoy watching on Twitch. I love a lot of VTubers. Zentreya, shout out to you. FroggyLock, shout out to you. A bunch of awesome VTubers are on fucking Twitch. Rima Evenstar, even though she primarily uses YouTube, she also streams to Twitch. I don't want those people to get hurt financially because of individuals like Hassan. That's why I call for him to be taken down from the platform. Don't mix my words there. And I want him to be investigated because I think he's a detriment to society as a whole. And he does call for violence way more than Destiny ever has. But I'll also say this before I wrap this all up, and I see you, Owen, bro. Everything you hate about Hassan, got from Destiny. We could play the arguments here. They're like, well, Destiny's pro-Israel, Hassan's pro-Palestine, blah, 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 whatever. The core of it, the violent rhetoric, the calls to action, the attacks, the way they treat women, all the things that they've done, he got from Destiny because not only did TYT, start him off, Destiny's the big reason he became one of the largest political content creators. Because he started in Destiny's chat, not just TYT, but Destiny's chat. And Destiny promoted him and got him bigger. The two are not separate. They are the same. They are two sides of the same coin, bro. So everything you hate about Hassan got from Destiny. I want that to be so clear. I want that to be clearer than ever before. If you hate Hassan for whatever reason, he got it from Destiny. Destiny doesn't have that much impact nowadays, and at least he doesn't go full Terry. Oh, bro. I wish I didn't delete this. So I wish I didn't exit out of this already. You didn't see what happened today, did you, bro? Bro, I encourage you real quick. Here, I'll pull it up again. Let me pull this up again. Because, bro, this was real. I spelled Pierce wrong. D-I... Here. Give me a second. I can't spell Pierce. Okay, here. Oh, P-I... Okay. Here we go. You're off the internet? Oh, you didn't see anything that happened today, bro. Oh, it got bad. I'm just pulling these up for you, bro, on how the level of fascistic tendencies that came out today from Destiny. And I'm trying to find one of my things just to help me out here. Where is it? Fuck. Oh, that was the Hassan. Where is my this is a fascist? Okay, this is a fascist take in response to Dev. Right here. So these both happened today, bro. Today. On Pierce Morgan. Just got to play the first little bit for you.
Kirk posted Charlie's coffin. You responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect.
And I'm playing this all, and we're going to stop it eventually just to show you how tarry Destiny has gotten.
And you then posted yesterday, ending every conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are...
Just let that one sink in, but you'll see the Terry mark. And I'm sorry, bro, for sure. I just want to show you how bad it's gotten.
10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. And the other big one that was going around today, bro. And again, I'm sorry to show you just how bad it's gotten.
Flash out the crime statistics?
Not exactly like...
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature.
That's both fascistic and that's full-fledged terrorist. That is nightmarish from anything. And he wants to call us the bad guys. Oh, yes, he has, bro. He has gone full-fledged. If you wanted Charlie Kirk alive, you would have listened to Destiny. That's his argument. You would do what your betters would have told you. Sorry for showing you that, bro. And listen, okay? I know Static already said good call. Hope you're doing all right. I also do. Okay, bro? Listen. I said this last night. I'm going to keep saying this because even I had to do it. Even I had to do this. And I try my hardest to do this. It's a whole lot harder for me to do this a little bit just because I do content creation and kind of got to be on the internet a whole lot. I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to say this. To anybody watching right now, anybody at all, we're dealing with real shit right now. That's why I'm not really talking about VTubers or I have a pop culture thing. Don't worry. I have a pop culture thing that I am going to use to make another video, okay? I have something. It is Charlie Kirk related still, but I do have something. And we can laugh at stupidity together. I pray that we can laugh at stupidity together and some of the retards again soon. I am looking for some VTuber content. Trust me, I am. I could probably find something. I could probably find something for us just to laugh at. Even though I like this person, I could find something for us. It's hard now, right now, bros. It's hard. Okay? So, bro, don't feel bad about taking time off. Anybody in the chat right now, don't feel bad about staying off the internet for maybe a day or two or just trying to focus in on something else. Don't feel bad about that because this is deep, heavy shit. And even I had to take some time off. Like, Static will go like, oh, you didn't take that much time off. You didn't take that much time off. I went and bought new work boots over the weekend, and then I saw the Demon Slayer movie, which, by the way, go check out the Demon Slayer movie. Fantastic, beautiful. Music was top tier. I can see what they're going to be doing with the next movie. I'm all on board with where they're going with it. I'm enjoying it. Okay, they were also super faithful to the manga. I loved it. It's okay to take time off. And guess what? When I got back home on Saturday, it was 10 p.m. I could have turned on a stream. I chose not to, and I played games with the guys. Granted, we ended up fighting over, well, Fight Club, and it got very bad. Still love you, Kel. Got very bad. But I didn't stream, and I tried my hardest to stay away from the internet. It's okay to escape. It's okay to turn on a movie right now. You need that balance, okay? You need that perfect balance. It is perfectly fine to do that. I'm not going to say that it's not. You need the ability to go away and say, hey, for a little bit, I'm going to turn off my phone. I'm going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to play Final Fantasy 14. I'm going to do something else. It's fine. America has to draw a distinction between political violence and terrorist activities. When someone burns Tesla during a protest, the organizers should be treated like how a terrorist should be treated. I agree. I agree, bro. Don't worry. I agree. Mind you, actually, here, I have something for us to laugh at. The Static will get this. And if Kel is watching in the chat, you'll get this. And I do suggest some of the guys who might be in the Discord right now hanging out, just check out what I'm about to show you. Because I saw this. This is an example of some of my escapism. Some of the things I like to watch when I'm not doing politics or content creation or something like this. I have my own like enjoyments. One of the things I like to do outside of like watching VTubers or doing shit like that, I like to watch art videos. Because it's very calming. It's soothing. Some art videos I like are fans of maybe an IP I enjoy. Fans that like to do art for like One Piece or something. And I saw this dude, and I found this dude recently, and he makes, you know, I'll show his channel real quick. He makes videos making different art pieces. Like a lot of them are One Piece, and he just does art pieces. I've scrolled through it. There's Naruto. There's all sorts of stuff, and he does these cool little art videos that are maybe imagining what the future would be like in One Piece, or if stuff was a little bit different, or what have you, just like little alternate universes and things like that. And he did one a few years ago, revolving around the One Piece crew 40 years later, or in the future. And Static, I know you're watching. This is Frankie. Age 76. And all I thought when I saw this was, bro, that's fucking Kel. That's Kel. Remove the blue. If we remove the blue up here, this is fucking Kel. Just a little bit more buff. God damn it. I couldn't unsee Kel when I saw this. I'm telling you right now, this is Kel. You've seen him in the chat a whole lot. It's fucking Kel. If you take off the little blue tuff right here, it's dead on. It's kind of funny. I love it. But this is one of the things, okay? You need to have that ability to step away. Take the deep breath. Relax. Recenter yourself. Yesterday, I did a stream. A 3-hour stream. I needed to recenter myself still. I still wasn't fully back at 100%. It's okay to calm down, take that deep breath in, listen to something funny, watch a drama, do something that's not revolving around what we're doing here, because that's one of the key aspects of escapism. That's one of the beauties of escapism. And right now, I'm not saying just escape, ignore it, turn it off, ignore it. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the wrong thing. Don't go too far into the escapism. But I'll say this. It is perfectly fine to escape some, because that's what escapism is. It allows you to escape your mundane life, your 9 to 5, whatever it is that you're doing, the hardships of the world right now, the total destruction that's going on. It's okay to say, hey, for a little bit, I'm going to play Uma Masame. For a little bit, I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to focus in on what's important. Yourself, your family, your community, Those are what's most important. Okay? Always remember that. Because one of the things that is super important, knowing that Charlie Kirk's gone, one of the things that I did is I the next day when I got a chance, because I had to work a completely different schedule that day, Thursday, Friday. I got home earlier and I looked at my mom and I said, "Hey mom, I love you. I'm happy you're my mother." I looked at my dad and I said, "Dad, I love you. I'm happy you're my father. I'm happy to have you." I looked at my sister, okay, my little sister, and I said, "I'm happy that you're my sister, and I love that I get to see you every day." Obviously, she grunted at me, and then I texted my little brother. My brother doesn't live with us. My brother, he has his own house, and he lives his own life. But I texted my brother. And I told my brother, "Hey, love you. Happy you're in my life." I did that because those are my immediate family members. Those are the people that are most important in your life. You have people that love you. Stay close to them. Shout out to you, Samuel. Focus in. If everything right now is dark, scary, and depressing, don't get me wrong. It fucking sucks, bro. And again, I'd much rather be talking about fucking VTuber shit. I'd much rather be doing that. At least I get a laugh and call out Destiny and Hassan. At least that's usually some of my content. I'd much rather be talking about VTubers, but right now we got some serious shit going on. So always remember what's most important. Your family and your own well-being. Keep them close. You got those. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk and me being a little bit more depressing than normal and more real than normal. Let's talk about some other shit that's going on. By the way, Samuel, it's important to get grounded once in a while. World never stops turning, and no feeling is fine. No feeling is final. That's true. True. It's fine to get grounded. It's fine to, I try to balance both. I prefer to do the funny shit. Gotta get a little grounded right now. Sorry. It's the truth. Even in pop culture. I'm not talking about the Emmys, because goddamn it, I don't want to fucking talk about the Emmys. I don't want to fucking talk about the Emmys, bro. Last thing I want to do is talk about the Emmys. So I'm not talking about the Emmys. But I could easily point out, they didn't talk about Charlie Kirk. But there was one chick that full on went on hey, fuck ICE and free Palestine rant. Wonder why they didn't talk about Charlie Kirk. You know what? You know what, Cloud? You reminded me. I do have that pulled up because there was one good thing from the Emmys. There was one good thing. Okay, there was. Oh shit! Don't know what I did there. Oh, that's my Elgato. By the way, before I go forget about this, where is it? I have it somewhere. Fuck. I've found my capture card. I've updated my capture card. I got some plans coming in the works. Okay, I have my Elgato screen pulled up. I have to edit it. Got some plans coming in the works, bros. I got some plans. Stay tuned. But there was something good last night from the Emmys. We're not gonna play the music, okay? I don't need sound for this. We don't need sound. We don't need. We do not need sound. Gotta play Dad of War. That works. That works. That works. Mind you, I saw the pictures of her in this dress, you know, getting ready for the Emmys. I'll admit it, I was... Can I peek? Can I get that perfect angle? I was doing that. Real? Yeah, sometimes it's better without the sound. Sometimes it's better, bros. Sometimes you just need to see the good goods. Sometimes you just need to see the good goods. And you know damn well she has no problem with this. Jorking it. God damn it, Alpha Omega, you ruined it. You pulled the Cloud. You know what? Fuck it. I'm keeping it on. You missed the Yellow Flash milk truck intro? Oh, God. Oh, God. We need like a beautiful compilation of just the gorgeous dresses that Sydney Sweeney come out in. They look heavy. May you help hold them up? Yes. I'm pretty sure she does need some assistance there. I'm pretty sure. God damn. Every step is beautiful. Every fucking step is beautiful, man. Speaking of jork in it, god damn it, I can't say I feel like I died inside. I'm gonna pull some stuff up, okay? I'm gonna pull two things up. This is on the precipice of jerking it, okay? This is on the topic of jerking it. I'm gonna show you two tweets. And I'm gonna show you in the order that I saw them. Oh shit, I did that. I'm going to show you in the order that I saw these two tweets. They are not in the same way. They are not in the same position. But we're going to talk about jorking it. Because this is funny, okay? This is just funny. And I will bring back Sydney. Don't think I'm not. Here's something funny, okay? Here's something funny. And it's kind of like you can't look yourself like... not a whole lot of introspection going on after these two tweets. Mind you, I saw these two tweets in reverse, so I'm going to show you how I see them, but it's like the self-awareness isn't there. So I'm going to come over here. This is a Smuggalana post, okay? Shout out to Smuggalana. I don't pull up a whole lot of her content because it's a lot of just React content, but she's awesome. How much starch is in the bust of that dress? You know what? We should probably inspect that. But I see this. Sometimes I forget I can post whatever I want and thousands of people will be forced to see it. Okay. Rima responds with, that's power right here, Alana. Yes, that's true. This is power. And I'm showing you this in the way that I saw this. Okay. Sometimes you forget that you can post something and thousands of people will see it. Masturbating as a girl probably feels so good. It's aight. Mind you, that these are one after the other on her replies even. But this one was actually made after this, and you just sit there and think. You go from saying this to saying, yes, everything I post, people will see. Thousands of people will see it. God, you gotta love it when some people just don't introspect a little bit. Rima, calm down. Listen, I love Rima. I love Rima content. I'm not dissing Rima. All I'm gonna say is, Rima, you're never escaping the allegations. You're never escaping the Gooner allegations. That's true. But I mean, let's be fair. Neither are we. None of us are ever gonna escape the Gooner allegations. God damn it. Must be, it's like going to the beach, you know? It's like going to the beach. Rima will be in the replies of anything at this point. Yes, she will. Listen, I have Rima on notifications because a lot of times she will help break news. She'll alert people. And kind of common the VTuber scene right now, you know, with a lot of stuff kind of just going under the radar. That's why I have her on notifications. And I saw those two and it's like, God damn it, Rima. God damn it. God damn it. Cloud, nervous whistling. It's okay, Cloud. We get it. You're a Gooner. In Gooner content, we bust. Oh, God. I will not. Don't worry. I'm not getting rid of this particular video from Sydney Sweeney. In fact, I'm probably going to. This is going to sound bad. I'm probably going to download it. Okay. And even add it to Ballbusters. I might do that. Sorry, I also had to take a screenshot of the of Kel Frankie. I also had to do that before I exited out of that. But okay, we already did this. Get Hassan, so that out. I'm trying to clear out some of my tabs because I got a lot, bros. I got a lot. This up so that way I can still see if anything breaks. He's gonna fap to it. Cloud, shut up. We all know that I have a particular set of tastes here that are not normal, but I might. I'm trying to think here before I go too far, and I did some of this yesterday. I want to say this right now. I fucking hate Mehdi Hassan. I hate that dude. And for those of the guys that don't know who Mehdi Hassan is, this is an actual like hardcore political guy who you could go to his goddamn Twitter account and just see how vile he is. He's a dude that did get other people fired before, but Chris Cuomo's guest says JD Vance lied when he claimed political violence was a left-wing problem. This is Mehdi Hassan, okay? This dude right here, the guy who I'm circling. This is Mehdi Hassan, and we talked about this, okay? He's going to bring up some stats. We talked about these stats yesterday. I'll just re-show you just some of the stats and how they're skewed. But here's Mehdi Hassan and just how, god damn it, I hate this dude. And it doesn't help that he's part British, so he sounds more stuck up. He's already a stuck up twat nugget, but he just sounds more stuck up.
JD Vance lied today on the Charlie Kirk show when he said the statistics are clear that this is a left-wing problem. It's the exact reverse. Right, exact reverse. You look at the ADL Center for Extremism, which looked at 444 people killed by extremists between 2013 and 2022, 75% of them by the right. You look.
That's why I wanted to play this, okay? Because this is a person that likes to try to go around there and say, no, it's a right-wing problem or the both sides issue. I pulled up the ADL. I did this yesterday. I did this fucking yesterday, guys. Center for Extremism. Here's their heat map for political violence. And I have it actually brought up for ideology. I'm going to try to zoom in so you guys can see this just a little bit better. What's the ideology that the ADL tracks? White ring. Right. I feel like I said that wrong. Right wing, white supremacist. Islamist, right wing, anti-government. Left wing, right wing, other, unknown other. Wait, what? Why is there three right wings? Why are there three of those? And only one left. Bind you. I'll get you even more funny. I'll show it even better for you guys. Right wing white supremacist. This category includes people associated with white supremacist groups or ideologies, including but not limited to neo-Nazis, the alt-right, racist skinheads, Christian identity, traditional white supremacist, and white supremacist prison gangs. Oh, wait, you're throwing in prison gangs. Oh, wow. Oh, that helps, but Christian identity? Why is Christian identity and white supremacist? Right-wing anti-government. This category primarily includes movements that fall under the umbrella the so-called Patriot Movement, the militia movement, including 3% and Oath Keepers, the Sovereign Citizen Movement, Sovcivs. Sovcivs are retarded. Why are you throwing Sovcivs in right-wing groups? They're retarded. They're like Destiny. They think they can say magical little words and get out of all sorts of shit. Sovcivs are idiots. Why are you considering them right wing? That doesn't make sense. But here, let's go left wing real quick. This category includes groups and movement traditionally considered part of the far left, as well as anarchists. It also includes environmental and animal rights extremists. For simplicity's sake, it also includes black nationalist extremists. Wait. So you lumped all the lefties in at one thing, but separated all the right out into multiple. That's how they get you guys. That's how they track this shit. They purposely, when they lump all these things in ways that don't even make sense, but two, they make it this way for a very specific reason. That's way they can gin up the numbers, make it look a little different than it truly is. They try to spread full-fledged Democratic bullshit, as Ombro says. They shed this shit, they share this shit all over the place, saying that it proves their thing, and it's like, but this doesn't. Soft civs have nothing in common with other, like, one percenters or patriot movements. Soft civs are schizos that think if you go to a fucking courtroom and say, this is not an admiral court. I was traveling in my car. I wasn't driving it. I was traveling in it. It is a boat, a land boat. They think they have all sorts of crazy words that could mash it all together. Nah, that doesn't make sense. Why are you even throwing them there? Then when it comes to white supremacists, Christian identity, what does that mean? They are afraid that Christians is a strong identity, that it's gaining influence and power. Yes, they are. They are terrified of that. Weirdly enough, it took Charlie Kirk's death to increase Christianity, which I'm not happy to say that. I actually hate it. I hate saying that. But white nationalists, guys, white supremacists, they get shouted down by conservatives daily. Daily they get shouted down. The fuck are you combining all these things together? Then right-wing other. What's right-wing other? This category includes other right-wing extremist movements, as well as the extreme wings of broader right-wing movements, if they have an association with violence, including anti-abortion extremists, anti-Muslim extremists, anti-immigration extremists, and anti-public lands extremists. I don't even know what anti-public lands people are. But all that feels like a bunch of gobbledygook, but they do this on purpose. They do all these things on purpose, and that's why they have right-wing white supremacy, and then you come right here to left-wing, and you see black nationalists there, because they don't want to do the left the same way they do the right, because they purposely obfuscate the numbers. This is just ADL. Bro, this is just the ADL right here. You want me to pull up the SPLC? Let me pull up the SPLC for you, because I showed this again last night. SPLC hate map. Okay, we're going to filter this by ideology. Again, what do you see? Anti-immigrant, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Muslim, anti-government, anti-Semitism, Christian identity, Christian supremacy, conspiracy propagandists, I don't even know, constitutional sheriffs, general hate, hate music, Ku Klux, male supremacy, militia, neo-Confederate, neo-Nazi, I don't even know what Volkovich, neo-Volkovich, I don't even know, racist skinheads, radical traditional Catholicism, sovereign citizen movement, white nationalists. Where's the lefties? Where's any leftist movement here? Where is it? Huh? Where is it? Here's the SPLC. Where is it? That's how they get you. That's why whenever they say these fucking things, I'll say this from the top of my fucking lungs till the end of time. Whenever they come out here and say, well, the ADO says this, they're not tracking the numbers accurately. They're doing it on purpose. They're doing it for propaganda's sake, so that they can come out here and have fucking mouthpieces of their goddamn extremist movements, like Betty Hassan coming out here saying, well, it's actually the right that's the problem. Or you have fucking other retards going like, listen, it's a both sides issue. We all need to turn down the rhetoric. No. We know who's doing the violence. We know where it's coming from. You need to stop with these fucking lies, you fuckus retard. The gay DL. Yes! And I'm sharing this out, okay? It's not because they're Jewish, by the way, Alpha Omega. I don't care about that. I'm pointing this out because they do this on purpose. They pay NGOs to go around and do these bullshit studies to say, well, it's the right, that's the real problem. And then they skew the studies in such a certain way in which they'll be like, well, we're not even going to put Antifa on here because that's a bad idea. But we're going to throw in gang violence and prisons for white supremacists, but we won't do the same for black nationalists, and we're not going to separate out the black nationalists. Make that make sense. Here's the problem, bro. When it comes to the government data, they always love to share around the FBI criminal statistics and stuff like that, but even the FBI criminal statistics and the people that do the harsh stuff on the FBI list haven't been tracked rightfully either. So it's like you can't even trust any of the statistics at this point, which sucks because you have a bunch of fucking activist cocksuckers that just go around and brutally show off that they are not being honest with anything here. Now, I will say well, actually, you're not wrong. Listen, right now, far right means normal people. When it goes to fucking Destiny, saying what's far right, if you're not a fucking left-wing fucking authoritarian nutcase, if you're the right of Mao, you're right-wing. You're far right. And there's people that are much farther right than me. And trust me, I'm not far right. I'm pretty much a moderate. I did a whole thing, one of those political compass tests, which aren't entirely accurate, but I did it. I'm farther right than my family is, but I'm still more libertarian in a lot of other areas. Even though right now, I want to send these people off to Uganda. Sending them to Uganda sounds nice. Think about it. Think about it. Okay? And I still have Gal calling me dumb for saying this. And I have Static doing the same thing, but just think about it. Uganda sounds nice for these people. It does. We denaturalize them and we ship them to Uganda. They get big fluffy cats to play with. They get to run around with big fluffy cats. Yes, I'm talking about lions. They get to run around with them. They can hug a gorilla. And they'll I thought about this recently. They'll have hippos. Guys, hippos are super cuddly and kind, and they come running up to you wanting to give you licks on them, licks and everything. Go frolic with the hippos. You'll be at peace. Good things. See, I think we're thinking of a good middle ground here. Ship them off to Uganda. And the reason I say Uganda, really, guys, think about it. We can't ship them to Canada because they'll be doing the same fucking shit. Can't send them to China because they'll be like, yay, we're finally in our great saviors. We're finally doing it. And they'll just make China stronger. Cuba is an idea I've thought about. I have thought about Cuba. But I feel like Cuba's still just too close and they'll just, swim back. Can't send them to Mexico because they'll just hop the border. So we gotta think of a good spot to send them. And I'm telling you, Uganda. I think Uganda is a good spot. You can make fun of me all you want. I think Uganda, guys. I'm thinking Uganda. I mean, the other thing, I can't say that on you. I'll just say there is another place we could send them. A place they're very much willing to fight for and defend over America. There's two places we could send them now that I think about it. We could we could divvy them up even. We can divvy them up. We can send part of them to Ukraine and the other part to Gaza. See, they're in the lands they love more than America then. You guys can go to Gaza and help the Gazans and the Palestinians and blah, blah, blah. And you guys can go to Ukraine and fight on the front lines. There we go. Everything's fixed. Nobody wants to send them to Uganda. There we go. We saved the day. Fixed it. ADL should be treated as Wikipedia. Well, most people treat them as Wikipedia. The thing is, I can pull that up all the time. I can show you guys this. All you got to do is go ADL, hate map, SPLC, hate map. You can show that. And you can show hey, you guys don't even track really leftist ideology at all. But then they want to cite it. And when you point that out, they want to ignore it. They want to say, well, I mean, that's just so much right wing. But then you start looking into it and it's like, no, you guys aren't even tracking it. Where's Antifa at all on these things? God damn it. I love young, gay, progressive, liberal. Funny account. No, we can't send them to Cuba. Okay, we can't send them to Cuba because Cuba's too close. They'll just swim back. It's like sending them to Mexico. They'll just walk the border. We can't do that. And they'll love Canada way too much. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, hey, maybe we should send some. We divvy them up in two groups. We send the people that love we send the people that love Gaza to Gaza, help the Palestinians, and we send the people that love Ukraine to Ukraine so they can fight on the front lines. If you guys don't the other idea is Uganda still. Like, Uganda's still on the table, bro. See, I think Uganda would be much more funner for these people because then, you know, they're just removed. The sun. But we don't have the capability to send them to the sun yet. Okay, that's a downside. And I almost said, hey, we could ship them off to Mars first, but then they'll colonize Mars and they'll make Mars a shithole. Make Mars awful. Oh God, I wish I never said those words. They'll bother the sun and the Ugandans. Yeah. Listen, the downside to sending them to Uganda is there'll be a little bit of AIDS. AIDS might spark. It might be another AIDS epidemic in Uganda. Can't really do that. I got another thing. Because over the weekend, bros, we saw some crazy stuff. I'm kind of censoring my words a little bit because this is going to be in the YouTube video. We saw some disturbing stuff, and it wasn't just over the weekend. It was ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. We've been seeing demonstrously awful things being said, not just by political content creators, but also by people that work at the companies that we love to enjoy. Companies that produce video games for all of us. We have seen them come out here and say all sorts of deranged, nightmares things, whether it be DC, whether it be IDW, whether it be some people from even Final Fantasy that do localization and do stuff over there, and whether it be from Bethesda. Now, this was a tweet that was going around when a lot of stuff was starting off, and obviously this is from Savvy that has this wonderful, wonderful block of information right here. Wow. No, I just lagged up there. Wow, Bethesda producer going above and beyond to celebrate Crab Rave, feeling fancy, and then endless retweets of lies and fear-mongering. Here's just some of the information that they've been putting out there. And I'll open this in another tab just so you can see it. This is why liberals can't defeat fascism. Yazie's is not a political disagreement. Charlie Kirk has been offed. We see you're under no obligation to mourn the death of people who would have celebrated yours. They'll ask you to mourn the deaths they mourn and no others. They'll ask you to cherish the lives they cherish and no others. I'm feeling fancy. Should I order fancy takeout for no reason? Anywho. Wow. And you're seeing this all over the place. And people were calling out Bethesda. People were calling these individuals out. People were saying, this is a fucking problem right here. Well, that led to a tweet. Now, I can't pull up that tweet because turns out they took it down. Bethesda tweets and deletes video appearing to mark Charlie Kirk's tragedy. You don't care much about these fascists, do you? Now, I have the tweet in question, you know, the video right here. You don't care much about these fascists, do you? Let's just show it more. The internet is forever. We can see it right here. Good kitty, good kitty. Just randomly tweeting it. You can come over here to the Bethesda account right now. There's nothing. No. Tweet doesn't seem to exist, bros. Doesn't seem to be there, but we can see this. And I'll play this for you guys. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'll play this for you guys.
Huh. Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you?
I wonder why they said that, huh? I wonder why they said it. And then they deleted it. They deleted it, huh? Wow, this is from the company account. Get them out. They deleted this tweet. They deleted it because they know it's bad. They deleted it because they know how atrocious it is. And you could probably do all the whole semantics. Well, I mean, it's from the what game is it? The Golden Circle game, frickin' God dang it, I can't remember the guy who's whip and all that stuff. Why am I blanking on the freaking name of that freaking Indiana Jones? It's from the Indiana Jones game. It's a quote from Indiana Jones. It's a thing from Indiana Jones, but you wonder. After people were calling you out for shit like this, for allowing this stuff to be prevailing by your company, by your employees, we haven't heard a single thing about where this person is going here. They'll even say, hey, producer at Bethesda. They'll say that. They'll show that off. And then when you're getting all that to stain, you just put out a tweet like this. You put something out like this, huh? Makes you wonder what it is that they're calling out here. It's pretty easy to figure out what they're calling out. They're calling out you. The people that are mourning the death of Charlie Kirk. The people that are, hey, very disturbed by what the fuck these people are saying and doing right now. They're calling you out. They're calling you the fascist because you don't want to rejoice over the death of a man, because you find it abhorrent to see how many of these people are coming out here and just showing how vile of an individual are. They're putting this out to confront you, to call you the fascist, because Charlie Kirk, who was a moderate individual, he was a fascist in their eyes. They're calling you the monsters here. They're attacking you with this thing. That's why they took it down. They didn't take it down for any other reason outside. They got caught and they got much more blowback than they thought they would. In their little echo chambers over on Blue Skies, they're safe. They're safe over on Blue Skies. And Bethesda Studios over at Microsoft, they're safe. They're safe. They're in their little bubbles. And when they step out into the real world, they see, nah, people don't agree with them that much. That's why they call you the fascist. These people are vile monsters. These people, I don't know what to do with them. Outside of calling them monsters. Outside of saying, hey, I'm never going to buy another Bethesda game again in my entire frickin' life. And it shouldn't be that surprising to me, to be quite honest with you. It shouldn't be that deranged to see this. We've seen some of the things that the Bethesda has put out there. But it still hurts. It's still raw. And it is wrong. It is incredibly wrong. It is in poor taste. And maybe, hey, maybe, I'll say this. Maybe they were just trying to promote the game. Because you can go here again. You can go over here and you can see, hey, they're posting a bunch of stuff out in regards to a bunch of other games right now. They have a bunch of content coming out here. You see, here's another Indiana Jones thing. They're trying to get people interested because there's a new update coming out or whatever. Hey, we're trying to help out. Even if it is, bro. Check the room. Maybe we don't go out there and say, hey, we're going to call all the fascists out. We're going to say we don't care that much for fascists. Maybe we don't do that right now, huh? You think maybe that should have been a smarter idea? They're terrified. They're terrified of you because you're calling them out and you're calling to the plate. That's why they did this. Don't let up. Let them know that you don't find what they're doing right now at all appropriate and that you think that they are vile individuals. Don't buy any of their games. Say, hey, you know what? We're going to go a different way because you obviously don't care about us and care about what we feel. Mind you, I'm willing to bet if I did enough search, they posted probably a bunch of stuff out there about George Floyd and how we need to respect George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. I'm willing to bet you $500 that there's plenty of posts on Bethesda's website about that. I'm willing to bet you all sorts of money that they said all sorts of good things about George Floyd, BLM, and all that stuff. And then they call you the fascist. Let it sit a little bit. There should be a peaceful retaliation by calling their HR and boycotting their companies. I agree. Boycott the companies. Don't buy the games. Boycott them. Let them know who has the actual power here. I haven't bought a Bethesda game since... No, I didn't buy that game. I got that for free via Game Pass. Fallout 4. That was the last time I bought a Bethesda game. I did buy Fallout 4 again recently because I lost my Fallout 4. Long story. I like Fallout 4. I will never be buying another Bethesda game. Yeah, George Floyd was an awful incident. Listen, there was a lot of failures that went on during George Floyd. But they canceled you for just pointing that out. They wanted you ruined for pointing that shit out. They called you the bad people for pointing that shit out. They want to call you the fascists. Got to shit Ghost of Yotei? Oh yeah, I'm not. Bro, fucking, I was one of the people out here not shitting on Ghost of Yotei. I was one of the people out here going like, I don't think it's woke. You know, I trust Sucker Punch here. I don't think it's going to be woke. I think it's going to be just fine. And then the fuckers do what they did. Yeah, I ain't buying that game. Fuck you. Fuck you. I ain't buying that game. Refuse to buy that game. I refuse to support that game. And I was one of the bastards saying, I didn't think it was woke. I don't see the DEI here. I think it's just going to be a decent story. Oh, no. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. As far as I could see it, outside of like brand new releases, there's only one game I am buying that's coming out next month. And it's why I updated my capture card. I do not have a Switch 2 yet. I want a Switch 2. God damn it, I want a Switch 2, especially for the game that's coming out. Play it on the capability that it's designed for. God damn it, that would be wonderful. I'm a Pokemon fan. There's a new Pokemon game coming out. And I'm going to be playing that Pokemon game. Day one. I just need to find my dock. I need to find my charging port. And I need to get it fully set up. I don't have the setup that I want fully for, like, playing Switch games again. Because... Sorry, I hit my mic. Because I actually wanted this TV to be hanging up on a wall that I have right here. I bought all the stuff to set it up. And I think it would look a whole lot better to do that. It would be a whole lot easier because then, like, technically I could be right here the whole time, leaning back, playing. And yeah, I'd be looking up and not at the camera. But what I'm gonna have to do, got a tiny TV here for my third monitor. I'm gonna have to look at that TV, which isn't too fun, so I'd be looking this way the whole time, which I'm not a fan of. Did they make Bing Bag chairs large enough for me? I don't know. We might need to check it out. But young gay progressive liberal for $1.99 says Switch to fun meanie dermy. Love you, uwu. Oh well, thank you. I am trying my hardest to get a Switch 2. I have a fund. Don't worry. Got like 2, 3. Because I want to buy a good Switch 2. Like I have my things. I have some things planned out. Still gonna be a little bit before I can get the Switch 2, and I'm mainly just getting it for Pokemon. But I do know this. There's a couple Pokemon games I want to play because I like Pokemon. Guys, I'll say it, okay? There's a few Pokemon I really hate, and I'll just sacrifice, you know, the title of 9-time champion to Beardo. But at the same time, it's like, nah, I want to fight you for that title, bro. I want to fight you for that title. That's gonna be my title by the end of it. Beardo, if you're listening to this, I'm coming for that title, bro. I was a VGC player at one point in time. I was an actual competitive Pokemon player at one point in time. Don't at me, bro. Don't at me. I'll make you wish you never went up against me. You ain't ready for the smoke. You ain't ready for the Kingambit takedown, bro. Because Kingambit is one of my favorite Pokemon right now. Dermy gonna go to war? Listen. I love Beardo. I'm the true Pokemon champion. He tries to trip me up on the fact that I'm a retard and I can't remember names a whole lot, but I remember generations. But I'm a much better Pokemon player than him. Much better. He ain't ready for my Kingabit's takedowns. He ain't ready for that shit. Kingabit is one of my mains, and I love Kingabit. I also love Garchomp, Lucario, Aegislash. A very particular style of Pokemon player. One of my big problems when it came to making my VGC game for Scarlet and Violet is I just got tired of it. I got tired of farming the game. That's why I never did it. But if I put in the effort, I could. I definitely could. Really easily. Get my go-to team up to level 100, make it a proper VGC team. I'd win. And bro wouldn't see it coming. Favorite typing in the entire game is always Steel type, and I know plenty of Steel types that can make me invincible. He ain't ready for this smoke. He ain't ready for this. But before I go too far, I wanna do this. Because Greg Gutfeld fucking knocked it out of the park today. I don't know how many of you saw this. I know, Ombro, you didn't see this, but I love this because I have been one of the individuals going ballistic over this whole both sides argument. It is a nightmarish argument. It is total bullshit. And Greg Gutfeld said what I wanted said on national television, and I love it. Here it is, bros. Here it is.
Yes, we don't need it. What is interesting here is why is only this happening on
And I have the volume as loud as I can get it right now, guys. I'm sorry about that.
the left and not the right? That's all we need to know.
What about
There's absolutely no cognitive...
What about Melissa Hortman that we just
okay, you want to talk about Melissa Hortman? Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did. None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no demonization, amplification about that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her by somebody who knew her. The same. Now you could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person.
Keep fucking going. By the way, Young Gay, there's a few good fairy type Pokemon. I'm not gonna even deny that.
So don't use your, what about this? The fact of the matter is the both sides argument not only doesn't fly, we don't care. We don't care about your both sides argument. That shit is dead. For one thing, there is no cognitive dissonance on our side. On your side, your beliefs do not match reality, so you're coming up with these rationalizations like, what about this or what about that? We're not doing that because we saw it happen. We saw a young, bright man assassinated, and we know who did it.
When it comes to some of their whataboutisms and some of the things that they're doing there, and by the way, shout out Kyle, Call Me Live. I see you in the Twitch chat, and we're doing just fine. When it comes to whataboutisms, they want to bring up that Minnesota people, like the non, what good drinky winky, what's good drink dinky winky. Oh, I'm not even gonna pay you. Hi, Satir. I see you over on Kick. They want to pull up the like the Minnesota person that wasn't a part of the Catholic shooter. Nobody knew about that. And when you start digging into that, nobody really wants to talk about who the person did it and how they were tied to Tim Walsh. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that.
We are not coming up with rationalizations. We are calm, we are honest, and we are resolute. We're not defensive, and I understand the defensiveness. I understand why people are saying, what about this and what about this? Because if you have to face the underlying fact to this, your life is going to fall apart because you're going to realize you're not the good guys. If you sat around and you defended the mutilation of children, you're not the good guys. If you sat 600, 700 cases of harassment against Republicans, and you said, but what about this? What about this? And then you see this murder after calling somebody a fascist, you realize maybe I'm not the good guy. That is a hell of a realization to deal with. So therefore, you have to grasp at rationalizations. You don't have to do that, Jessica. They do. I don't believe you're part of that group, but why the hell do you have to mimic and echo that crap to us? He was a patsy. That guy was a patsy. He was under the hypnotic spell of a direct-to-consumer nihilism, the trans cult, and you know that.
Reminder. When it comes to the individuals, they want to say, well, he wasn't trans. Oh, my God. Oh, his trans roommate, his trans boyfriend. His trans boyfriend, not the roommate, the boyfriend. The boyfriend. This person was dating that person. They want to say there was no ties to trans boyfriend. Trans boyfriend.
If you can decide that biology is false, you can agree that murder is okay and that humanity is expendable. How you cannot see that alone and see that for what the evil it is without having to attach all of these other things is beyond me.
I just want to be clear, and I want to let people speak. I in no way intended at all to minimize what happened to Charlie. I was horrified by it. I have not been on the five
but
since
the two
then,
sides argument, well, it's like pig Latin to a duck.
No.
He's right! Fuckers, he's right! He's fucking right. It is pig Latin to a duck because you're over here and we've already gone over like the ADL and they go like, well, the both sides and oh, there's this, oh, there's this, oh, there's this, oh, there's this, oh, blah, 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 blah. They constantly bring up these things and it's like, well, okay, we dig into this. No. Person was associated with Tim Wallace. Okay, well, what about the other Minnesota shooting? Well, that person was a tranny. Let's go over to some of the shit that was going on over here. We go through it all, and it goes like, well, no, that person was pro-Palestine. We want to dig into that. Oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? And it's like when we start digging into it, it's like, no, there's only one way this is actually coming from right now. And you're trying to hide behind these statistics and go like, well, the right wing is more violent. But we don't even see it. We don't even justify it. And your guys' fucking stats don't make any logical fucking sense. And then you come out here and say, well, it's both sides, it's both sides, it's both sides. Bull fucking shit. Both sides narrative is a bunch of fucking twat nuggets that don't want to accept reality at this point in time. It's the people like Destiny, it's the people like Hassan, it's those fucking twat nuggets. They're all on the same side in this thing. And they don't want to take accountability. We are not the same as these fucking freaks. We can see what reality is. And reality right now is there's a bunch of people going all over the fucking place and ganking a bunch of people for political reasons, and it's all coming from one particular side.
All that I was saying is could we have all of the information before you just say they did this? Because that is a broad brush to paint with this. And this kid
Let's have a conversation.
No.
Charlie had a conversation. He got shot. Look, I'm sorry, Jessica. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You weren't here for a week. You came in here and it's cold. And I'm sorry, but this is a story that is immune to news cycles. It's immune to rationalizations. It's immune to bias. This thing is with us for good. And we all have to deal with that. So that means we can't live by the same arguments that you might be reading about relativism among the media. We can't deal with those stories. It doesn't matter. The media is dead to us on this story. They built this thing up. We're dealing with it. We're going to act. We don't care what the whataboutism is anymore. That shit's dead. Sorry. For the swearing as well. I apologize to the American public. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the show.
I love Greg Gutfeld. When Greg goes off, it's fucking awesome. But he also, he continued. He continued tonight, the legacy of Charlie Kirk. And I just want to play this, okay? I want to play this. I want to see what Greg had to say. Because Greg Gutfeld is just, he's fucking top.
So last week was hell. This week could be better. It would have to be. And we could move on to another story. That's how it usually works, but that doesn't feel right. And if we only wanted to give you cheap laughs, we'd just show you Brian Kilmeade's SAT scores.
That actually was that did help. And I mean, Brian, God damn it, Brian said something retarded over the weekend. Was that over the weekend or was that Friday? He said something retarded.
But unlike most stories that happen in life, the assassination of Charlie Kirk is immune to news cycles and short attention spans and unchanging media bias. That should have been true when Trump was shot, but because that story exposed the media's own complicity, it disappeared faster than Tim Waltz when a car backfires. But
Oh no, Tim Walz. No, that didn't get it that well. But we all know Tim Walz said that he's best friends with school shooters.
Charlie's murder exists now and forever, and his martyrdom resonates all over the world at marches and vigils. But it also had its share of ghouls safe in their protected nest, cheering his death. Like a guy named Bob Villain. I guess the name Bob Douchebag was already taken.
Not that
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of a human being.
We saw this. I pulled this up yesterday. Again, if you guys didn't see yesterday's show, it's up there. I pulled this one up yesterday. Bro's a fucking scumbag that can't even stand by his own words, and his show got canceled. His entire tour is canceled now. Rightfully so, because fuck this douchebag.
The pronouns was, were.
I will say maybe the rest in piss right there. I don't know if he actually said that. It does sound like he's saying rest in peace, but I don't want to be that gracious with this fucker.
You know, I miss the days when rockers used to get high on drugs and not the stench of their own farts. This dope thinks he's speaking truth to power, but he's never expressed an opinion where there was potential for dissent. It's like when Hillary would call Trump racist when she was giving a speech, or Colbert doing the same in front of his live studio audience. People cheer, but that's like a zookeeper thinking he's George Carlin because the hyenas laughed.
Okay, that one actually did make me funny.
So this goon is no punk, he's a pussy. The cowardly opposite of Charlie. Charlie could face his critics, but if this guy were in the same room with Charlie, he would be humiliated. And no one would dare shoot this guy. Why bother? His preening ignorance would be an ongoing death sentence. Of course, now he's playing coy as he tries to deny his own words. But he's as bad at walking it back as Joe Biden was at walking forward.
I mean, he was... Bro, I can't... Just stand by your words. That is 35,000 people who want us dead at that show. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, Charlie was talented, charming, persuasive, and brilliant, and this twerp is none of that, and he knew it. And for the envious, it's better the good die than the bad change. True, Charlie was divisive in that he showed us the dividing line between truth and bullshit, between good and evil. I bring that up to show you the contrast in reactions. On one side, there is an awakening. You can feel it, and it's huge. On the other side, a mass cognitive dissonance. You're watching people getting fired for their behavior. Many of them teachers in positions of power over your children, cheering a young man's death. I tell you, school was much better when teachers only had blue hair because they were 105 years old.
You know what? He's not wrong there. And I knew growing up in a small community, like it's only a 2 mile by 2 mile town that I live in. Again, rural Kansas. That's not really out of the ordinary. 30 minutes to go to a closest Walmart. I'm not even making that up. That's a truth right there. And that's a lot of different places. Like growing up like this, I knew a bunch of teachers that were in their 70s. We had this. We had a different world. And now I see this and it's like, this isn't the world that I grew up in. I grew up in like the classic style of America, even as a Zoomer. And this is not what they told me it was ever going to be. And you just see this, and I had maybe maybe 3 liberal teachers my entire life, maybe. And the reason why I say maybe is because I could only really point out one for sure. And that was because she was a super science lady that was also like an atheist. Like, that's how big of science she was. And all my other teachers, yeah, a lot of them went to church every single time. They talked about God actually regularly, because I grew up in a Christian town. Like, one of the things is, like, I have a lot of Christendom here in this town. It was a very Mennonite-focused town. Again, not very out of the ordinary for Kansas. It's not out of the realm that they talk God a whole lot more than you would think in most of these schools. And growing up like this, even in a public school that talked about God and would identify God, it feels weird seeing this right here, because that's not how I grew up. As a Zoomer again.
What's telling, of course, is their shock at being fired, cocooned in a bubble where the only oxygen is the steam from their own bull. They just assumed that their opinion was acceptable, but then reality pierced their bubble. And it was with no help from the media. After all, they're the ones who built the bubble. Nope, this is just us doing it. And we do not care how the media tries to portray it, for they are as dead to us as the muskrat on Maxine Waters' head.
Oh, God damn it. All your high school teachers were libs. They thought Bush was Hitler for the Iraq War, Alpha Omega says. The only reason I can point to at least one teacher on what her politics was because she said that she was atheist. That's about it. Probably figure out where she lined up politically through that. That's not saying I'm 100% sure, but then, like, I look at a lot of my other teachers, I don't really know what their politics were. I could place a bet. I could place a very hard bet on maybe at least 2 others being liberal. One was our librarian, who suggested to my sister to read a book on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm not even making that up. But I could point to that. Could point to her, and I can look at some of my other teachers that I had growing up, and I go, like, I'm pretty sure you guys were conservative. Pretty sure they voted the way you think they were. And I could tell you, I live in a conservative town when the kids that go to high school proudly wave Trump flags all over the place, proudly stand up still for the Pledge of Allegiance, and proudly do that. They don't have a problem with it. Remove hats for the national anthem. Show how much they love this nation. A lot of the teachers did the same thing. I had one teacher. This was a dude. He was a history teacher. Good teacher, too. Then he left to go be a principal somewhere else after I left, but he was a good teacher. He said some shit that I never really thought, I never thought about until like a few years back. It was like, some of you aren't meant to go to college. Some people aren't meant to go to college. And, you know, growing up your entire life, you're told you're supposed to go to college. This is the one teacher that said, some of you aren't meant to go to college. Trade school is perfectly fine. We need people in the trade community. We need people in other areas. College isn't for everybody. He was the only teacher that said that. There's a few other teachers that might have hinted it here or there, and that's not saying that they said it to me. They said it to everybody. And you hear that, and you go like, I think they were a little bit more conservative than they let on, but they were smart. At school, we're here to learn. We're here to discuss. We're here to talk. My politics stop when I enter the school. Even the liberal ones, except for that librarian. I still have issues with that librarian. Even though she's no longer at the school, I still have issues there. They never really brought their politics to school. Never really saw a pride flag waving anywhere. Saw American flags all over the place, but I never also saw a Trump flag. Never once did I see a Trump flag until recently. Because I still drive by the school. I mean, it's right there. I know what goes on in my school. And I'm proud of that. But to think that there's so many other kids that live a completely different life than I did, it's hard to realize sometimes.
For us, The murder of Charlie Kirk is a transcendent experience. For the loss is both personal and connective. I feel it, you feel it. It's bigger than you and me because it's all of us. And as it's often said, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. But on the other side, it's just a whole. And they fill it with cognitive dissonance. Their thoughts no longer match up with reality, so they must rationalize their previous beliefs to protect them from the horrible realization that they might be the bad guys.
Bro, the amount of cognitive dissonance. I have a lot of them. In fact, I have one tweet that I've been saving to pull up on just how vile some of them are being. Like, and this isn't the worst, okay? And mind you, this isn't the worst. And I'm pulling this up for a reason, if I can find it real quick. Did I unbookmark it? Let me see. I have to scroll again, because god damn, it's been so much. It's just been so much. It's insane how much it's been. There was one guy came out and said, like, hey, I'm leaving the left because I can't stand what's going on here. I can't stand what the monstrous behavior that's being shown right here. And this dude, who's a shitlib, I'm gonna say it, he's a shitlib. He's a proud shitlib. The only thing that I agree with him on is Destiny's a pile of scum. That's about it. And I've shown this dude on stream before. Shown him a few times, but then I see tweet shit out like this, and it just makes you sit there and go like, we are not the same. Because I don't even know who this dude is, who he's quote tweeting. And again, I'm saying this because I'm hunting down the tweet right now. I'm saying this because his response to somebody saying I'm done with the left, it showed me just how cult-like they truly are. Even with the shit lips on how cultish they're willing to act. Where's that fucking tweet? Where is? Please don't tell me I took it down. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me I unbookmarked it, because I kind of want to pull it up right now. It's just on the level of cognitive dissonance and how they refuse to let anybody run away right now. And if you do start saying, hey, I don't want to be a part of you, they're willing to lambast you and attack you. Even the shit lips. Please, for the love of God, tell me I didn't unbookmark it. I might have unbookmarked it. Let me see one more. Right here. So this is Jay Slack quote tweeting Drew Pavlo, who I don't care about. I will explain to you why the killing of Charlie Cook pushes me to the right. He says this, and I got Jay Slack right here. You should have more shame than to post like this publicly. You emotionally traumatized yourself by over-consuming blue sky commie commentary celebrating Charlie Kirk's death to the point it's overridden your political position and values, if there ever existed at all. Sad. You people are the reason that he's running away. Shit libs like this tard are the reason he's running away. You are just as bad as the blue sky freaks right now. Shit libs are just as bad as blue sky freaks because they're trying their hardest to lie to you. Tim Pool pulled it up a lot today, but there's a content creator called Politics Girl who openly lied on her content. Openly lied about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Easily debunkable lies. They're lying to you because they can't accept the truth.
Think about it. If you support assassination, mutilating children, and letting killers roam the streets, it's damn near impossible to say, I'm one of the good guys. Without cognitive dissonance, you'd hurl yourself off a bridge. So how do you know it's happening to them? Because it's not happening to us. We aren't rationalizing our feelings. We witnessed the murder of a young, bright man, and we know what we are feeling, what we are doing, and what we're going to do next. So, what do we do next? Well, ask yourself, are you doing all you can to spread Charlie's word?
What is a shit lib? A shit lib is similar to like a leftist. The thing with a shit lib is willing to come out here and lie to you publicly. They'll throw around a bunch of stats and statistics to try to obfuscate their actual point. But in the grand scheme of things, they're nothing more than a shit lib. You know, they are the people that are saying, you know, both sides, or maybe the right's more bad or whatever right now. They're the people that are trying to justify this. At the same time, they're openly lying to you about what happened to Charlie Kirk and the Charlie Kirk shooter. A lot of the shit libs are coming out here trying to tell you right now that the shooter was a conservative because his parents were conservative. He grew up in a Christian household, and then they have to obfuscate the fact. They'll come out here and they say there's no ties to actual trans ideology at all. And then you go in there and you take one good long look and you see, well, I mean, the lover, the boyfriend, the live-in boyfriend was a dude transitioning to be a woman. Oh, a bunch of furry trans radical ideology that he's all over the place. Those are the shit libs, the people that refuse to say the truth because they have to defend their side. They're the individuals saying the both sides. They're the individuals coming out here doing, you know, the ADL stats, even though the ADL stats don't make sense. Those are the individuals right now. They might agree with you that, hey, Destiny's a bad dude. But they don't agree with you on anything else, and they're lying to you. Openly lying to you. Is it their performance? It's their performance because they don't have principles. If you're so willing to lie to try to push your own agenda, you don't have principles. I won't lie to you guys. Even when it came to that Bethesda post, I even said, hey, maybe it's them trying to promote their game. Maybe that's the case. It's bad optics and it's bad timing. Whoever thought that was a smart idea needs to be fired. But I'm not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt right now. I'm telling you, even possibilities that it's this, because I don't want to lie to you. A shitlib has no problem lying to you to push their own agenda. They're no better than lefties.
Can you do more? You can meet with others and talk about it. You can lead by example. Do more of what Charlie did. Engage, but never do it alone. And like with Turning Point, others will notice and think, who are these happy, serene people? I want what they have. Because something tells me that so many people on the other side, the dark side, they're looking for a path out of this madness. Even they know deep inside that they need help. You might be the one to give it to them.
That has been a sentiment that has been going around a lot that I've heard. Be the next Charlie Kirk. Be the next Charlie Kirk. I know for a fact I'm not the next Charlie Kirk, guys. I know for a fact. I am not the next Charlie Kirk because I am not any of these things. In fact, I'm probably more like a Steven Crowder. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being more boisterous, a little bit more radical. Like, for fuck's sakes, I say send these, denaturalize the people saying the shit about Charlie Kirk and send them to Uganda. I'm fine with that. I don't know who will be the next Charlie Kirk or if there will ever be another Charlie Kirk. But I do know this, Charlie Kirk's words will never be ended. What is wrong with a well-principled leftist? Listen, okay. If you are a well-principled leftist that will also be honest about your, like, what you're saying, like, the honesty is the biggest problem here. Okay, the honesty, because, like, I think I already shut down the Medic Hassan thing. I already shut down Medic Hassan. No, I didn't. I showed this, okay? And I'll show this to you, Zach, okay? Mehdi Hassan is a jackass. I'm going to just come out and say he's a jackass. But I'm going to play this for you real quick before we go too far. Crowder, so you put on dresses, huh? I openly put a bikini on stream. You're not going to get me. But here's Mehdi Hassan. I'm playing this for you, right?
J.D. Vance lied today on the Charlie Kirk show when he said the statistics are clear that this is a left-wing problem. It's the exact reverse, right? Exact reverse. You look at the ADL Center for Extremism, which looked at 444 people killed by extremists between 2013 and 2022, 75% of them by the right. You look
So let's pull up the ADL, okay? He just said what he said about the ADL. He said what he said about the ADL right there, okay? LOL, right on. Zach, like I say, I'm Crowder. I'm also, like, I'm not a super straight guy. Here's the ADL, okay? Here's the ADL hate map. This is the ideology that they track. Right-wing white supremacy. White supremacy is not right-wing. If you go to any actual like conservative function, if they see anybody there with like Nazi propaganda or anything like that, they get shouted down. Just take a look at Patriot Front, how many times people hate the Patriot Front on the right and how they always point out that they're pretty much feds. But even if you look at right-wing white supremacy or white supremacists, it says this category includes people associated with white supremacist groups or ideologies, including but not limited to neo-Nazis. That makes sense. The alt-right. I don't think that really makes much sense, but okay, let's go with it. Racist skinheads. Christian identity. Why is Christian identity on there? That doesn't make any sense. Why is Christian on there for white supremacy? Doesn't make sense. We can go to anti-government. This category primarily includes movements that fall under umbrella of the so-called Patriot movement, the militia movement, including Three Percenters and Oath Keepers. The sovereign citizen movement. Sovereign citizens are nutcases. Full-fledged nutcases. They fall under any ideology. They are just nutcases. Okay? So when you bring up the soft civs, mind you, soft civs are similar to like Destiny. They think they can say magical words and get out of any sort of problem. They'll go. The Matthew Brooks case, I think, is a good example of what soft civs are. That was the guy that drove the van through the Christmas parade. That's a good example of a soft civ. They think that they can say all sorts of magical words and get out of anything. And it's like, these people are nutcases. Why are they on right wing? They're nutcases. They say they're not driving their car, they're traveling in it. Why are they right wing? That doesn't make sense. Right wing other. This category includes other right-wing extremist movements, as well as the extreme wing of broader right-wing movements if they have an association with violence, including anti-abortion extremists, anti-Muslim extremisms, anti-immigration extremisms, and anti-public land extremists, which I don't even know what that means. Okay, I don't know what that any of that just means. They're like anti-public land. I don't know that, but why is that right wing? But then you take a look at left wing. Okay, you take a look at left wing, and this is what I want to point out. Okay, let's come back up here. Right wing white supremacy, right wing anti-government, right wing other, left wing. What does left wing include? This category includes groups and movements traditionally considered part of the far left, as well as anarchists. It also includes environmental and animal rights extremists. For simplicity's sake, it also includes black nationalist extremists, and though not all black nationalist extremist groups are necessarily fall under the banner of the far left. But okay, so it's okay for you to throw in white supremacy over here. But hey, you know what? We get that they don't all fall under far left when it's black nationalists. Think of how that works. Okay, and you already say ADL is a compromised org. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, here's SPLC, and here's the ideologies that the SPLC tracks: anti-immigrant, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Muslim, anti-government general, anti-Semitism, Christian identity, Christian supremacy, conspiracy propagandists, constitutional sheriffs, general hate music, Ku Klux Klan, male supremacy, militia, neo-Confederate, neo-Nazis, neo-Volkovich, which I still don't know what that is, racist skinheads, radical traditional Catholicism, sovereign citizen movement, white nationalists. Where's the lefties? Where's the lefties? They're not here. So when it comes to any of the people saying, well, no, the far right is the more dangerous side because of ADL or SPLC or any of these statistics, we're already seeing that these statistics aren't even tracking what they need to be tracking. They're already skewed primarily because of NGOs to only focus in on the right and maybe spatter left here or there because they're used for propaganda. And a shit lib will come out here and say, well, I mean, studies and statistics show that it's the right that the problem. Those aren't principled individuals. Those are liars. A shit lib and a leftist that doesn't have principles will come out here and say, no, violence in the cities are going down. See, look at the statistics. They're going down, ignoring the fact that there's actual criminal investigations into several of these cities right now for not actually properly registering what crimes are. And we can even go over to Chicago, for example. At one point in time, they actually had a system in place that every time a gunfire would go off within the city, police would immediately be alerted and first responders would immediately be alerted. Mayor Brandon Johnson took that system away because he said that was discriminatory towards the blacks and browns of the city. He took that away. By taking that away, now there's less crimes being reported. There's less alerts to crimes happening. Naturally, crime goes down because less crimes being reported. But they'll look at the statistics and they'll tell you, see, the statistics say crime's going down in general, and they'll ignore facts like that. They'll say like, hey, trans aren't more violent. And I'll sit here and say, yes, you know what? You're right. Most trans people aren't violent, but there is an obvious issue going on here because several of our past, I think it was 5 shooters, maybe it was 6 shooters that were school shooters were all trans. So we have an issue going on here. And they never want to actually address those points. They always want to hide behind the statistics. Those are the shit libs and those are the unprincipled fucks. A principled person like me will sit here and tell you, hey, there's issues in this society. There's issues we are never going to be able to root out. One of the sad things, hey, we're going to try our hardest to stop are shootings. By the way, when it comes to school shootings, they never actually want to tell you the true statistics there because they'll also wrap in gang violence into school shootings and maybe a guy, you know, Minecrafting himself and say that that's a school shooting. Like they never delve into the statistics. But when it comes to school shootings, we want to limit those as much as possible. So instead of getting rid of guns because we don't want to violate anybody's rights, we say, hey, let's put on armed guards, because armed guards and teaching the teachers how to properly utilize a firearm to protect their kids actually sounds like a smart idea. They say no. Why? Because they want to violate your rights. That's what a shitlib does. They come out here like, we don't want to violate your rights. We want common sense gun reform. But it's like, okay, so we have these things in play. No, we can't do that. Why? A shitlib is just as bad as a leftist, in my opinion. Now, if you're principled, obviously there's going to be a good lefty here or there. I'm not trying to broad brush here. It's obviously always going to be exceptions to the rule. I'm not trying to single anybody out here, but a shitlib I think is arguably worse than a leftist. Because a shitlib defends the leftist while simultaneously saying they don't defend the leftist. Fuck. I'll say it right now. Okay, I'll say it. Short fat otaku is a shitlib. He's unprincipled. He shows off all the time that he's a fascist, he's an authoritarian, and he wants to come out here and defend people like Destiny and stuff like that and defend leftist values. He's a shitlib. Anti-land extremists are people who think Americans' public lands should be seized and transformed to state or private control. That sounds retarded. Zach, that's perfectly. I get. I went on my Destiny rant right there. Don't worry. I rant all the time about this shit. So I threw out a lot, and I'm sorry. I will apologize for that. I'm sick of the people lying. I'm sick of people trying to justify bad shit. And like, I'll show you the ADL statistics. They don't work. I could show you gun crime and all that stuff. Like, I threw out a lot there, but that's because there's a lot. There is a lot. And I'm also not telling you guys don't listen to these freaks. Listen to them. See what they say. I despise Mehdi Hassan. God damn it. I hate listening to Mehdi Hassan, but I listen to him. I listen to the Young Turks. I listen to them all because I want to know what they're thinking. They never know what we're thinking. That's the sad part. And Zach, I can give you credit for this. I can give you credit for something. You're in my chat. Desi is interesting and terrible person. He's very intelligent, but uses his power to hurt people for sport. I don't think he's that intelligent. I think he did what I just did. So that's why I said I went on my Destiny rant right there, where I just throw a lot of things out there, which I do apologize for. That's Destiny's trick, is he throws a lot out there. But I'm going to tell you, watch the Piers Morgan today. Destiny openly says there's no proof that the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk has any ties to trans. The boyfriend is a trans person, going from male to female. The boyfriend of the shooter. Desi openly says that that's not true. But it is true. It's been confirmed. Multiple sources have confirmed that. Multiple sources have confirmed that the shooter was a lefty. The Utah governor has confirmed that. The FBI has confirmed that. Destiny says no. Destiny's not intelligent. What Destiny does is he does what I just did. And I'm going to apologize. There's a lot of shit out at you all at once. And it's hard for you to fight back against. And that's why I am not the next Charlie Kirk, because I will go Charlie Kirk was able to go very slowly and eloquently and lead people down a path. I'm not that. But you're right, Destiny does like to hurt people. I talk a lot about Destiny. I also talk a lot about Hassan. I dislike both of them. And I do think they should be brought up on criminal charges, and I do think they should be investigated right now. That wasn't a politician. Loud, that wasn't a politician. That was that was Brian Krasenstein. That is another example of what a shitlib is. Brian Krasenstein. Let me see if I can find that. Brian. Brian Krasenstein is a perfect example of a shitlib as well. He will say whatever it takes to give his side the one up. I can't find that tweet. I wish I bookmarked that tweet. But Brian, when it came out that the shooter was in a gay relationship with a trans individual, Brian Krasenstein openly said no, he's in a straight relationship because the person was male to female. The Krasensteins aren't even shitlibs. They're just basic political grifters. I think they're shitlibs. Willing to do whatever the fuck they can for their side. And by the way, Kel, oh shit, I closed out the video. Fuck. I closed out the video. I have a picture of you, Kel. There was an artist that made a picture of you. Pulling it up. Give me a second. Give me a second. I don't know how. They made a picture of you, bro. They drew a picture of you. Now, it's Frankie, yes, but it's you. You just remove the blue tuft of hair right here. This is you. It's fucking you. Turns out I don't even know anything about the Colorado school shooter. Like, I don't. And if you're trying to play whataboutism here, you guys killed Charlie Kirk. Fuck off. Hey, Mirror. Hey, Mirror. I don't usually play these games. You might have fun in my chat doing shit like that. You might have fun. Well, actually, you might have fun in other people's chat acting like a fucking retard. Not in mine. You're not gonna play whataboutisms in my chat. Particularly when it comes to the, you know, the Colorado shooter. I know nothing about it. And quite frankly, you guys killed Charlie Kirk. You don't get to play whataboutisms. Have fun screaming in other people's chats because I'm not playing those games anymore. Why, thank you, young gay progressive liberal. I don't like. I've heard crazy shit about the Krasensteins. Like, they were like under political investigation for like doing some shit with coins and money, and it's all weird. I've heard about it. I haven't dug into it. And by the way, I know that Mirror dude is probably going to be going around going like, well, why he banned me because he can't talk about it. It's because I haven't really even dug into the Colorado shooter. And quite frankly, I don't believe anything you guys have to say because you guys came out here and ended up saying that Charlie Kirk's shooter was a right-leaning MAGA groiper, which made no literal sense. And even you guys still try to prevail that entire bullshit narrative. Fuck off, suck my dick, eat my asshole. I don't care anymore. I'm done playing those games with you people. You come into my chat trying to stir up shit, I'm eating you. Because at the end of the day, guys, I want you all to know this. I am the authoritarian in my chat. You're not even going to say what you're thinking right now? That's fine, Cloud. But, like, I don't like banning people, but I'm done playing games with fucking retards. I'm literally done. So here's the thing, Zach. I don't have a problem with somebody identifying as a trans. Just leave the kids out of it. The biggest problem is like the identity flag wavers on the left make it a big deal. And then when we start digging in like deeper to the trans and some of the ideas that they have, it's like this is kind of not good. This is kind of not good. I don't like that you guys want to do this to yourselves. Maybe we should have like actual therapy. Now I'm not talking about the therapy they have now that's like what's it called? Fuck, I can't think what it's called. Affirmation. The affirmation therapy. I mean like therapy to sit you down, have the conversation. Why do you think you are like this? Because sometimes there's other issues. And my biggest problem with like the trans ideology literally is the 41%. It's a joke, but it's at the same time my biggest issue. I don't like people dying. Gender affirming care. Yes, I don't like people dying. And there's usually outside of, hey, maybe actually needing you to transition, there's something else in your life that does need to be addressed. I would prefer people to be addressed beforehand. I don't like there's a there's a sexual term. Like there are people that like have a fetish for transitioning and being like that, and it's like that you need to separate those because there's real trans people. I can point to people like Blair White. I do think Blair White is a real trans person. I like Blair White. I think Blair White's hot. I'll call Blair White she, her. But nobody ever wants to have those deep conversations. And then when we start digging into this, we start seeing like there's, SSRIs. There's a bunch of like not psychedelics, but psycho drugs that fuck around with your brain chemistry. And I don't think that that's actually gynophilia. Thank you, Alpha Omega, gynophiliacs and people like that. But there's like drugs that hurt you mentally, like in your brain chemistry, like you're fucking around with shit that you shouldn't be fucking around with. And then we never have these honest conversations. And I can, Zach, when it came to the Catholic shooter, okay, the Catholic school shooter from 2 weeks ago, God, well, actually 3 weeks ago, when it came to that shooter, in their manifesto, they started writing down how they know that they're not woman. They know that they'll never be a woman. They know that they're like what they're being shoved is an entire lie, but they don't want to. They want to be go back to a man, but at the same time, they don't want to be shown as like. Can't think of the word that it was. It wasn't a grifter, but they don't want to like. Because they get terrorized for backing down and not being like detransitioning. And the thing is, I saw a trans advocate. There's a trans advocate that sometimes I'll pull up. I haven't looked at their Twitter recently because god damn it, that's that hurts. There's a VTuber named Nira, and I'll bring him up now and then. Nira, the moment that came out, started calling the person a Nazi, right-wing, anti-trans weirdo, going down this whole pipeline, and that's why they did it. See, it was a right-wing job. No. And you never have the conversation about what do the detransitioners say, because you need to listen to those people as well, and they don't do it. They refuse to do it. And that's my issue with the trans ideology, and that's what a lot of people are, because they look into the trans thing and they see like this is a death cult, guys. Like they're prevailing some very dark shit over there, and nobody has those conversations. Interesting. So it's strongly related to unaliving. Like a lot of us, yes. Not just leave the kids alone, because a lot of the like trans kids, which don't exist, those are just kids going through puberty, and usually if they go through puberty, they are normal. Sorry, if you want to be actual trans and say like you're forcing us to do this, I'm sorry. I don't like the unaliving. The 41%. You're never gonna get it down to 0. I want to get it down to as low as possible. And I don't believe the ways that they're suggesting to us is actually working. I think it's only getting it worse. So we need to reevaluate it, and they don't let us reevaluate it. They say that we are transphobic or we're transgenociding, and it's like, no, we're trying to help you, and they don't want us to do that. Why should hear the detransitioners? Wait, why would we should? Are you trying to say why should we? I think you're trying to say why should we? Listen to the actual detransitioners. There's nightmarish stories that they've talked about, and they get attacked for just talking about it. There's some good. I don't want to say good. I want to say justified. There's some justified stories that detransitioners will tell you about, like love bombing, when they were going through like the transitioning process, and they were being told, hey, you need to do this, and they're constantly getting affirmed. They're constantly told this, but they're not feeling it. And then when they start, saying, hey, maybe I'm not this, they start getting attacked viciously by the side that was just love bombing them. You seriously need to listen to like detransitioner stories. And again, guys, I'm a conservative, obviously. I'm more on the right. I'm a populist as well, but I don't hate trans people. I don't. And in fact, I find the ideology, the gender ideology, I find it to be very destructive, corrosive, and nightmarish. If you are truly trans, I am fine with you getting this, like, hormones and maybe top surgery. I'm not okay with bottom surgery. And the reason I'm not okay with bottom surgery is because of just like the detriments to your body that it actually does. Like the actual harm it does to your body, the inability in some cases to ever have pleasure again, to goon, the inability to ever procreate, all that stuff. I have serious issues with that. And I find that to be just not a good idea to do. I'm sorry. I can never side with that. What's the point of hearing their stories? Shouldn't you want to hear the stories of like detransitioners? When it comes like a lot of this comes from Zach, who was wanting to talk about like why we focus in on trans because of like the pervasive gender ideology and how that is like destructive, but also if you listen to a detransitioner and a person that went through the detransitioning process and like had to go through that, like they'll tell you like, hey, this was us entering into the trans period, and then what happened when we left and how we felt and how they will attack them viciously for detransitioning. And that's why it looks weird that we focus in on the trans, but it's like there's a lot of shit here that you guys are doing that isn't okay. Seriously. To be quite honest with you, Satan 666555DGJ, which, okay. I don't know how I got here. I'm laughing because I actually don't know how I got here. I was having a conversation with Zach, who's a leftist, a principled leftist in his words, so I'm not going to be mean to him. I don't know how we got here. Just Danny? Okay, I'll call you Danny. To be honest, I don't know how I got here. And mind you, I don't like talking politics that much on my channel. I'm talking it right now because what happened to Charlie Kirk, it destroys anything else. Guys, I prefer to talk VTubers. I prefer to talk like pop culture and culture war shit. I prefer to talk that. I don't like the hardcore politics. You have a hard time taking the D-trans people seriously. They are, by admission, mentally unwell and usually well paid by a group of if you're talking about like gays against grimmers, Zach, they say that they're mentally unwell. Think of that. Think about that. Wouldn't that also then apply to trans people? Like, seriously, listen to detransitioner stories. You want to talk about unicorns? Then I love SXOTO. I don't know what that is. Like, quite literally, guys. I prefer to talk, like, look behind me. Look behind me. Outside my Trumpy trout. I prefer to talk anime, pop culture, culture war shit. I prefer to talk VTubers because there's interesting stuff in the... Oh, you love Shoto. Shoto's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Shoto's pretty cool. I prefer to talk, like, VTubers and stuff like that. I talk about, like... And that's because I have more fun there. I don't like talking about politics. No, not necessarily. It's a square rectangle thing, you know? I disagree, Zach. I think if you think that you are born in the wrong body and, you know, you live life, if you were born that way, it is naturally that you are mentally unwell. If you think that you were born in the wrong body, that is naturally a mental issue there. Again, that was a part of the DSM. I don't know if it was DSM-5 at that point in time. It was actually considered, like, I can't remember what the gender dysphoria was considered a mental illness. So if the detransitioners say that they're mentally unwell, that would necessarily apply to most of the trans individuals that are also saying that they're mentally unwell. And I'm serious here. Go. No, they aren't born on the wrong in the wrong body. They think they were born in the wrong body. That's one of the big things there. They think they were born in the wrong body. That's why they transition to try to be more like what they think they should have been born as. I don't think they were born in the wrong body, by the way. A lot of ex-Christians were abused. Is that? I don't think that's comparable right there. That's not a comparable thing right there. Like, naturally, if you believe that you were born in the wrong body, you naturally have a mental disorder. That's just true. Yeah, we used to classify it that, then we just removed it. It's an ideology. Like but Zach, it's an ideology built around a mental disorder. And that's true. That's why I say therapy first. We shouldn't be taking it down the ideology. If we want to do the trans stuff, we need to do therapy first. You guys can disagree with me, but that's the facts. It was a mental disorder. Gender dysphoria was a mental disorder for the longest time, and then we removed it from the DMC. We just fin out is not a mental illness. That's why we take it out of the. But it is a mental illness. Quite literally is. You can't look at a normal person and say, "Hey, I was born in the wrong body." That's not how that works. It is a mental illness. It is a mental disorder. That's why you need therapy. Proper therapy. Proper discussions, not affirming care, not gender affirming care. We need proper long-term therapy before we even think to start it. You think, again, that's not, Zach, that's not the same. I'm seeing what you guys are saying, and it looks retarded. Gender dysphoria leads to people wanting to transition. That's a fact. I don't really care about unicorns, Zach. Seriously, I'm telling you guys, you need to listen to some detransitioning stories. I'm not... Like, I'm giving you credit here. You're in my chat, which I vehemently disagree with you. The credit there is you're listening to the other side right now. Listen to the detransitioners. Seriously. Gender dysphoria is what leads to people wanting to transition. That's a fact. You can say no all you want, but you're wrong. Outright, you're wrong. Everybody's kind of agreed with that. Like, even the professionals say, yes, gender dysphoria leads to people wanting to transition. Danny, was it? You're just wrong here. Who was the one that sat down and talked to, what's his name from... Give me a second. Because I see what you just said there, Zach. I can't remember their name. Jordan Peterson. Chloe Cole. Chloe Cole is a good one. There's Chloe Cole and... What was this? This isn't Chloe Cole as well. I think. Clementine Breen as well. Chloe Cole and Clementine Breen. I don't dig that deep into them. I listen to the story, and then you can even like listen to what they have to say. Just do that. Listen to what it is that they have to say. How do we even get on the trans thing? Oh yeah, because the shooter that killed Charlie Kirk was pro-trans. That's why. That's how we got there. I need to start wrapping it up too, because I still need to. Oh, God damn it! It's almost 3 a.m. Fuck. But I will say this to both Danny and Zach. I've said this multiple times. I'm gonna say it again. I'm giving you guys credit. Because unlike that weirdo that wanted to try to start shit about Colorado shooter that I have not even looked into, because again, I don't care, and that's not to say I don't care about those people. And Zach, like that's kind of how it is when it comes to the Colorado shooter. I haven't really been like I haven't been interested because like Charlie Kirk is like the story. And again, I prefer to talk about VTubers. And Danny, before you leave, and Zach, both of you guys, I'm giving you credit right now. Because unlike the person that wanted to make this about the Colorado shooter, which I don't care, like, again, I'm not even aware of that story and haven't even looked into it. You guys sat down, you watched me, you disagreed with me, but you were here to talk. You're not like the usual individuals that try to stir up shit. And also when it comes to Zach, I don't know your politics, Danny. I don't really care. I don't think about unicorn Zach. That's why. But because you guys came to my chat, you showed something that most people don't have. The ability to listen to opposite opinions. And that's why I'm giving you both of you guys credit. If you want to sub to the channel, go right on ahead. You will hear opinions constantly that you disagree with. But the upside, you are already showing that you're better than most people because you're willing to discuss stuff with people that vehemently disagree with you. And you're still willing to put that aside and have at least a fun time. Because, guys, again, Zach, Danny, I'm hoping not to have to cover Charlie Kirk forever. Because I really don't like it. And I don't like it because I don't like talking politics 24/7. I play Final Fantasy. I play video games. I talk anime. I do all sorts of other stuff. But Pokemon stream I'm planning right now. I hope you guys want to stick around and at least see what other things are here, because you'll probably laugh at the same time. You'll have a good time, disagree, but that's the upside. It's okay to disagree. Okay? And I'm giving you guys both credit for that. But for the rest of my tarded chat... yeah, I'm looking at you guys. Not Danny and Zach, because I'm being nice to them right now. The rest of you, like gooners and degenerated bastards, it's quitting time, okay? Long past final call. But, so you guys see I have all sorts of takes. Hopefully we'll have some decent conversations coming up here soon. Hopefully we can get out of this. And again, when I say this, it's not that I don't think these are important conversations to be having. I don't like doing it. I'm not sure if I'll sub, not because of your politics, but because I'm not into VTuber stuff or anime stuff. It's been fun, though. Hey, all the more power for you, Zach. And you have a good night, Danny. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk about something different here soon, because Charlie Kirk's stuff is deep, and it's not what my channel is based on. But when it comes to Destiny and Hassan, I'll dig into those bastards all the time, because I also love talking lolcows, and to me, those people are fucking lolcows. But we will have some other stuff coming up. So please, guys, if you want to hang around and do all that stuff, good night to all of you. I'll see you all in the next one. And always take care. And always remember, you are loved wherever it is that you are.